moving slow, moving slow. And baby, we're moving slow. Whoa. We're moving slow, moving slow, moving slow. And baby, we're moving slow. Whoa. Yeah, yeah. So gently I grab the mic with my green fingers. Exhale words mixed with smoke as stench lingers, telling you stories of the past and the present and the future, in the hope you might lose the wait for a second, relate for a second. I'm feeling great for a second. Listen to the zilla, you're bound to feel free. Tune into our frequency, cause we're never gonna stop till we're great and we're old, trying to perfect our crops to make gold. Moving slow is the only thing I know. Sometimes I think I might have paralyzed my soul, lost control, but my words still overflow. Still I keep it banging like a pyrotechnic show. So yo, we're heavy like tons of snow. Like I told you before, I like to keep it slow. Moving slow, moving slow, moving slow. And baby, we're moving slow. We're moving slow, moving slow, moving slow. And baby, we're moving slow. Yeah, yeah.
I see man rushing and they're telling me to speed up. I'm sitting back chilling out with my feet up. But when we meet up, it all comes together. From parables to right now, through to bad weather, tough as leather. That's how the zilla's going on. We get it iller when we spit it on the slowest song. Ain't nothing wrong, it's natural progression. Got to take our time when it's studio sessions, learning lessons. Cause it's a marathon, it's not a race. We get it on, but we slow it down inside the place. See the crowd, they're just waiting to the stage show. Didn't catch what I'm saying, better flip the page, bro. It's my say so, because I said it. I'll slow it down so you're never gon' forget it. But it's no drama, it's just cool and relax. You don't have to spit lava as a rule on your tracks.
Moving slow, moving slow. And baby, we're moving slow. We're moving slow, moving slow, moving slow. And baby, we're moving slow.
Yeah. As we turn the next page in this Godzilla saga, taking it slow, there's no time for drama. Natural progression of the Godzilla fan, with another on board, bringing power to the clan. Got love for the crew, and we love what we're doing. You can call this thing a love movement. Music the key to life, there's no stopping it. I love life when I got hip-hop in it. We are the chain of hip-hop connection, the next link in this chain of perfection, to maintain our music selection. The work rate is more than reflecting. I take it slow, take another toke, sit back, relax, write a next flow, make another track like just how we roll. Chill out on the track, moving it slow.
Moving slow, moving slow, moving slow. And baby, we're moving slow. We're moving slow, moving slow, moving slow. And baby, we're moving slow. Yeah.
Keep my eyes sharp on the pinnacle, I see in slow motion. Just swallow 10 red pills and now reality's been broken. Break any nick my code, cause I'm the one, I'm the chosen. Rap my rhymes and one who knows, and time and space starts to open. Through wise guys' eyes I realize their demise, that they went for the plan, they put just hooks in the skies. That's where you're center with that Godzilla fam. I walked with open arms and I spit fire with the clever of my life. Like my flows are roll easy, with the illest fucking lyrics, make it dark, cold and breezy. You can't see me in the shadows like a phobia. There's no one for the backup, I'm the only one alone with you. As hair start to raise on the back of your neck, I approach from the front, put one the palms to your chest. Mustard the 7 styles of the word digest. I'm an abbot of a speed that you just can't test.
Moving slow, moving slow, moving slow. And baby, we're moving slow. We're moving slow, moving slow, moving slow. And baby, we're moving slow. Yeah. party. It's obvious soon as we started. We going hard, you know about our shit. Flows retarded, so if you love to party, go away, grab somebody, jump up and down, bang and jump around the sounds of OCDs to start.
Yo, let's tear the roof off this bitch. It's OCD, who's ready for the switch? It's blatant. These boys ain't complacent. Shake the foundation, the seed in the basement. Part-time MCs, change your placement, it's obvious. Your efforts are wasting. Ask the question, who are you rating? Who blows up the party with vibe they're creating? OCD. Short for amazing, original ciphers, different directions. Transit your beings, cast no reflection. Still leave you sweating from heat in the session. Heads are spinning for facts that we mentioned. Cerebral low, rust with attention. How could it be? The power we manifest, lyrical advocates further the double L. Cerebral, a sniper, the topless. You know that's me, I'm the dude with the hot shit. OCD, saying never gonna stop this. Bang your heads like you're stuck up in a mosh pit. Rock kids, mix it and rap, make the crowd go wild. DJ, put it back. Lost kids, locked in the flats, open up closed doors when they hear this, yeah, track. Sun is shining, the weather is sweet. You're listening to the sound of OCD.
We just came to party. It's obvious soon as we started. We going hard, you know about our shit. Flows retarded, so if you love to party, go away, grab somebody, jump up and down, bang and jump around the sounds of OCDs to start. We just came to party. It's obvious soon as we started. We going hard, you know about our shit. Flows retarded, so if you love to party, go away, grab somebody, jump up and down, bang and jump around the sounds of OCDs to start.
We make the realest kind of beats and breaks in it. OCD's in the game to win it. You've had 21 seconds, let me roll for a minute. Jump up, roll around and get with it. Maximum boost to all MCs that kill it. Yo, this is how we live it. Only gravity can hold me down, that's the law of physics. Time to raise your spirits, more energy than nuclear fission. Bang hits all sides of the kingdom. Badder than bad on every system, every fashion and style that I'm bringing. Collect like minds, this is religion. Gain knowledge and build wisdom. OCD is the clip on a mission. Now listen.
How do I put it? It was like, what do you care about them? What do you care about those people? What difference does it make to you? Take care of your own life. Do the best you can for you and your family. What do the rest of the people mean to you? They don't mean anything to you. They're just serfs. They're just people. You know, what's the end goal? The end goal is to get everybody chipped, to control the whole society. They want a one-world government controlled by them. Everybody has an RFID chip implanted in them. And if you're like me or you, and you're protesting what they're doing, they can just turn off your chip.
One, two. Just when you thought it was safe to go back into clown world.
Rise above, generate, rise above, extinguish fear, rise above.
It's Friday night, people. That can mean only one thing. Rise Above is back in full effect. Big up Andy PG.
Mazel tov, mazel tov.
Mazel tov, mazel tov. Big shout out to everyone tuned in. As you can see from the little text we've got on the screen there, we are still waiting for the Magics to arrive as per usual.
Ah, the fucking boat sailed, man.
As per usual, he is late.
The Ark has sailed. Yeah,
Yeah,
the Ark has sailed.
so the music might be a bit delayed tonight if he even turns up. But don't worry.
We're just going to go full freestyle.
Yeah, we're just going to do a freestyle show. I'm here, Andy PG is here, the Ramish community is
There's
here.
94 peasants tuned in.
It's Friday night, 9 p.m.
We've got Dom in the chat from Sheep Farm. There's King of Sting, Pamela Swan, Glitterati I've seen, Becky S I know's listening. Like, who else have we got here? Lord Doobsworth criticising our thumbnail. Casey Connolly.
Big shout out to Nanny Puffins. Nanny Puffins has said the fucking lyrics, rap flow, always blown away. What I like the most about the rapping is you can have the clarity, the artistry, the flow. Thank you, Nanny Puffins. Big up your chest. That is something I've always aimed for in music and with spitting to make it crystal clear each and every single motherfucking time.
Artist liaison officer, he's in the house here.
Yes, all the
Shout out
regulars
to my
tuned
man
in.
Baz.
Have we got any massive from Peasant Tron? Where's the Patreon massive? Can we see some flames and some hashtags in the chat, please?
Or even better, some Star of Davids.
yeah. Give us a load of Star of Davids. Okay, so yeah, like I said, was planning to do pirate radio sessions tonight, but so far our trusty guest DJs have not turned up. So right about now, me and Andy PG are just going to freestyle. Let's get the screen on the share as we normally do. I think I might
21B Medical Droid. I've not heard of you before.
Yes, you have Medical Droid 21B Medical Droid. Mate, he's been here since day.
Really?
Yeah, he's like a Ramish pilgrim.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I apologise.
God, how have you missed that?
I've just missed. Maybe he doesn't comment that often.
Maybe he comes and goes, but
Oh,
no,
I just stand corrected, guys. I'll just take it on the chin. I'll just take that one.
He's been with us from the start. Also, guys, tonight we have got the limiter off the Queef Master because we were planning to do a music show. But please let us know what the levels are like because we haven't got that auto gain control on that makes the music go quiet. So just let us know that everything is sounding good. Are you seeing all the comments? My comments are...
I've got loads of comments.
Oh, a minute ago, my comments were all fudged out. Okay, so there is actually some exciting stuff to talk about as per
Fudged
usual.
out?
Yeah, well, I don't know why I said that. They're just not there. Okay, so the Rise Above Weekender, for anyone that tuned in, what day? Was it Monday night?
Monday night, we
Yeah.
were there.
Monday night, we went to the studio. Thank you, Q-Tracks. You keep an eye on that, our official remote sound tech. Big up Q-Tracks. So we went to the venue on Monday night. We did basically like a technical dress rehearsal, right?
Of sorts.
You know, we put some lights in the room. We set up some of the equipment.
I arrived stoned and hungry. I hadn't eaten, and I kept munching on the breakfast cereal that was set out for the following morning in the hotel.
That's correct. But for anyone tuned in, we did manage to do a live broadcast. I actually ended up hotspotting off my phone.
You did get a little bit twisted in your Michael pants, didn't you?
Well,
At the start there,
I put a lot of preparation into that dress rehearsal.
Yeah.
I was expecting everything to work fine. I'd forked out with Rise Above money for this new 5G internet box,
Which
so
was
we can
fucking wank.
It did not work whatsoever. And it was just
we did the test, the speed test. There was nothing.
No, Nate, there was like 1 megabyte. It wouldn't
was
even
flaccid.
Yeah, it was completely
flaccid.
floppy.
No good to
The
anyone.
worst thing was I tested it at the office earlier on, and it was like getting 50, 60 megs, which is absolutely fine to broadcast the show. But I thought, okay, that means it must be fine. It's in the centre of Bournemouth, the hotel.
Yeah.
Well, lo and behold, that hotel is a 3 black spot. So
It's been blacked out by the cube.
33 black spot. Big shout out to Dirt Road Farms, Brett Atkinson, all the Ramish community in the chat. It's Friday night. We are back. So, yeah, what was I saying? We were doing a technical rehearsal. We did manage to make a broadcast, and people saw, how big the room was. Everyone's like, "Oh, cool! That's where we're going to be for the weekend. That's where we're going to be partying and everything." Obviously, we're gonna bring a little bit more flavour than just a few lights in the room. But yeah, I've got everything we need to make this event happen now.
Guys, there'll be no tablecloths, just so you know.
Yeah, the room is not going to look like this. So I need to let everyone know. I'll tell you what, let's just get the website up and we'll see exactly how many tickets are left. Because as you guys know, the first tickets all sold out very, very quickly. 200 tickets sold in about 2 weeks. And then we actually... Ooh,
We've had to exceed the limits.
Is it blocked the
exceed
website?
to the limits of the room.
Oh no, I put 4 W's in
Come on,
www.riseabove.tv. The last time I checked, there was only 25 tickets left. Let me see what you can see up.
Oh, Ryan Sanders there on the thumbnail.
Yes, big shout out to Ryan Sanders. I was chatting
the
to
website,
him. Chatting to him today.
Everyone's
funny
favourite
enough.
Christian rock rapper.
Where's the shop gone? So we want events, and we'll check out. Oh no, that's t-shirts. Go to events, please. Events.
Guys, don't forget. Okay, share the stream. You might want to put a little a caption with the link that you share on your social media and that you send to your nan, and just mention that we're not actually doing a pirate radio show tonight. We're now just going down the rabbit hole and see where we end up, which direction we get to.
So there are 24 tickets left. So we've actually only sold one since last week. I think there's, what is it, 4.5
24.
weeks? Yeah, 24 tickets left. So that means there's already...
but we said we might hold 3 back, maybe, and do a little competition right before.
We'll see.
Maybe do something like that.
We'll see. But that means that there's already 226 members of the Ramish community in attendance.
Wow.
And don't forget, we are joined with the ultimate Ramish rabbit consuming coalition.
Oh, Michael.
Of Sheep Farm and Mark Devlin. And yes, there is going to be a DJ set for Mark Devlin.
Gosh.
Boom select.
His first one of 2025.
Yes,
I saw
he's
it
really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it. We can't forget, so say a big shout out to Dr. Kimchi. This is not a normal meme coin. It's not some Schwabian pump and dump scheme. These guys have started this meme coin with one aim and one aim only. It's to fund doctors that are curing the big C, CANCER, without using National Holocaust Service methods. Shall we say that? Yeah. They've already given away $60,000 to alternative practitioners in their first...
that was in the first quarter.
That was in the first quarter. You can scan the QR code. Let me just change the design here so you can see that QR code.
60,000 peasant shekels, guys. Yeah, they're not fucking around over there.
Yeah, they're not mucking around at all. We're holding some kimchi that
we're holding currently 333,000.
No,
333.
When
each.
we got those kimchis, it was worth $10, right?
$10, Michael.
At its height, it went up to $130.
We actually might want to not talk about this because it's gone down a little bit.
Yeah, but it's got to go down.
It's gone down.
They've given away 60,000.
It's gone down to $47, and it was up before they gave it away. It was up to 165.
That's still 5 times more than it was worth when they gave it to us in September.
I need a kimchi button.
The
kimchi.
Yeah, we do need to get a kimchi button.
That's awesome.
The good news is we have got a box of physical Dr. Kimchi meme coins.
A cube?
They're literally like big gold coins. They come with instructions, and they're actually a cold storage for crypto. I've got a box of them, and each of them is loaded with 69 kimchis, and we're going to be giving them away.
Michael.
In the next over the next couple of months. So it's a really interesting project. It's not, it's not one of these stupid meme coins that's just worthless. This is designed purely...
This is genuine raw.
Yeah, genuine raw. So there will be giveaways with Dr. Kimchi coming up soon, merch and these cold storage meme coins. What's King of Sting saying?
Shout out to our other sponsor, King of Sting. He's in the chat. Casey Connolly at LSD, Liberty Silver Designs, guys. Me and Lance are both michaeling our solid silver pendants.
Our right above pendants.
We haven't
in the
had
house.
to smelt them down yet to use in the peasant sphere when the system breaks and there's no money.
The smelting is not upon us yet.
Grand schmelting.
Let me just turn that down so we can... Yeah, that's a nice view. Big shout out to Dr. Kimchi.
He's ripped as well. Look at Dr. Kimchi. Look, he's got an 8-pack there.
Yeah, let me just get the comments back on the screen. Right.
You want a piece of this, guys?
Inspector Veg just can't wait, can he? Should we just
do it? Magic's, isn't it?
Oh, wait a minute. He's calling the wrong phone. Hold on.
Oh, God. He's such a fucking carrot.
Hello? Yes. Yeah.
So that is Veg. He's on the line here. We're live right now, Veg. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I'm going to talk over it just because I'm not sure if you can, and otherwise we're going to have dead air. What else have we got here? Right, let's get that on the screen.
No, we can't do that, Veg. No, it's impossible.
Oh, God,
once it's gone out, then I'd have to take the whole stream out and edit that out and put it back in again. Yeah. All right. You're going to call up at 9 o'clock, yeah?
At 9.
Yeah.
9 p.m. Veg.
See you then, Veg. You know what he just asked me?
What's that, Michael?
He goes, I've got this new exclusive music video. Can you play it, but then have it instantly delete itself when this live
You
stream
can't
ends.
like just ask us to do that
Yeah.
whilst we're live. And come on, Veg.
Okay, can we get rid of this comment, please?
Yes, Michael. Sorry.
It's impeding my use of Restream, Andy PG.
Take that out.
So, where were we? Right.
What do you mean? Magix is impeding the whole fucking show.
Should we talk about Patreon?
Oh, let's hit.
Or should we do the competitions first?
No. Let's get the Patreon up. Let's get the video.
All right, okay.
Let's give the peasants a taste of what they're missing out on for a mere $3.33 shekels a month, guys. Yeah, it works out to £3 sterling. You get exclusive content at least twice a week. With
basically, we aim now to be Wednesdays and Sundays on Patreon. Yeah. Wednesdays is midweek Raw.
Yeah, that's right.
With a capital RA for Raw.
Of course,
obviously.
Michael.
It's essentially old school Rise Above,
it is,
where
yes.
we used to say absolutely anything that we wanted to without like having to
without the hassle of Al Gore.
Yeah, basically Al Gore's
Dancing behind
banned from Patreon. Now, for anyone that remembers,
he's not though. You do know that, right?
We've been running a competition for the last 2 weeks to win this hard drive. It is the full Ramesh back catalogue, every single piece of Rise Above ever, every live show that's banned off YouTube, every video I've ever made, every vlog, every
all of our old
documentary.
cringy shows that we did on like when we started. It's disgusting.
Yeah, and also it's got all of the memes on it, the whole meme archive of all the Rise Above memesters. It's got all of my music videos, tracks, all the music you hear on Rise Above.
It's fucking chats with Master Lee on there.
Yeah, it's got everything. It's got all the. Do you remember the old midweek chats?
Yeah, mate.
I think there's 12 or 14 episodes of that on there. I've essentially copied my whole hard drive onto here. It's 2 terabytes.
Lance's bank account's on there.
Yeah, it's got my bank account details. And we are going to announce the winner because basically, the way we're doing competitions for people on the live show now is if you want to be entered into this week's competition, you need to sub to Patreon.
That's it, guys. You heard it here.
The problem is you're a fucking retard.
If you're not subscribed to Patreon.
But I have to point out, people on Patreon have their own competitions too. And obviously, when they're already subbed, when you run a Patreon competition, all you've got to do is like share a piece of our media, screenshot it, and email me to enter the comps. You get to enter the comps free once you're on Patreon. But listen, sick prizes in just a moment after we've give you a little taster of what our Peasant Tron is all about. We're going to announce the winner for this. We had 17 entries.
Excellent.
And nice. That was really good. And in this mug here, I don't know if you can see that.
Are you calling it a mug?
It's actually a rejects the Soviet Union mug. Inside there is little pieces of paper with everyone's name on it. I'm going to do it properly this week, not just do it off camera and then tell you who the winner is.
That's doing it properly, is it?
Yeah, that's doing
little bits of paper in a mug. Should
we get like a
no? We need a windy little.
What's it called? A tombola machine or something?
Is that? I don't know.
Did I just make that up? Can someone in the live chat tell me? Is that
we've got a Milwana here. Is that 3.33 shekels for a full 28 shards? I can tell you're an archaics veteran. I can tell you're an archaics veteran here.
Raw.
Nice.
Oh, Q-Track says you would have had another one. I wouldn't know how to take a screenshot. I'm sure he's being sarcastic. All right, should we...
Double LMC... What's this comment we've got here, Michael? Double LMC, does the hard drive have the Pizzagate Chronicles?
You better believe it's got the Pizzagate Chronicles on it.
Everyone wants that shit.
Mate, it's even got... For episodes of Rise Above, before we started to go live, when we did a couple of episodes recorded. This is before Andy PG came along, because you only were doing lives with me. You weren't there when we did the first ever Rise Above podcast.
No, that was with fucking Word Nerd.
Yeah, it was with Word Nerd. Anyway, it's all on there. All of the original COVID 1984 videos that were all banned off the internet, they're all on there as well. It's that one where I did the... Oh, please be careful. I was about to say the COVID... what's the fucking code word for HIV? I can't remember. What was the code word for HIV? Anyway, you get the idea. It's those ones that you can't... They're barely allowed on BitChute, some of these videos.
Is the Serco speech on there?
Yeah, of course.
Fucking get it just for that, guys.
It's got all my live speeches on there, everything. There's nothing is missing from this hard drive. Right, let's give people a little taster of what Peasant Tron is actually like. Should we actually show some...
Yeah, go on, do it. Let's hit it.
Right, so Peasant Tron looks like this. It has... Okay, back once again for another Peasant Tron. So we do watch parties. We do midweek Raw. I was just putting some of my holiday stuff on there as well. We play Lost Coviet broadcasts off the hard drive, like Rise Above Episode 5. Now, what was one of the hardest hitting ones we did? Was there a particular watch party you reckon we should show?
Yeah, they occupied by Stu Peters.
Right, this one.
This is a documentary which was brought to my attention.
We're just going to play a couple of minutes of it to give you a taste of.
Yeah. So we just did a little watch party. I'm pretty sure, but I need to put it together. I haven't quite got it all together, but I'm pretty sure I've got a link to Little Hats and organ harvesting facilities.
Ancient reptilian little hats.
Ancient reptilian cuboids.
Welcome back to Peasant Tron. Guys, how's it going? We've had quite some pretty eventful...
They got a little insight there about our conversation.
Yeah. So I just pressed record early there. Last couple of watch parties we've done been pretty explosive.
Yeah, very much so, yeah.
And obviously we are sort of zoomed in on this topic at the moment of the ancient reptilian little hats.
Mate, I've just said to Lance before we started there that I've got so much going around in my head at the moment, but I haven't quite placed everything together where it should be.
I promise not all of our content is going to be about this going forward, but we need to get to the bottom of this. The reason that we're talking about it so much is because it's been prophesised by Jason of Archaics that there's going to be this huge rise in anti-Israeli, anti-Little Hat, anti-Jewish settlement sentiment. Sorry, not settlement.
Well, yeah,
Israeli settlement.
It's all relevant there.
Yeah. So what? Right, PG has got something for us to watch. I think we're gonna have to do this in two parts.
We're gonna have to do this in two parts, yeah, because
we've still got to do the God Vag watch party tonight as well.
I think it's an hour and 45 minutes, and there's a lot to break down, and we're going to be pausing and talking about some stuff and letting some stuff out.
It's Stu Peters. I'm not going to lie. After that snake bite thing, I'm a bit like, is this guy legit? Is he like a mainstream truther?
I would argue that this guy is just another plant. It's just
You
another
reckon?
plant. Yeah, well, you haven't seen this.
No.
I've seen this, and like, I was having a conversation with Becky Ass, and I was saying, what would an unveiling look like? What would the apocalypse actually look like? How would it go down? What are the logistics of it? You're not going to get someone sitting down on the news, literally for a fucking 33-day broadcast, reeling off everything about the occult and their false flags and everything. It's just not going to happen. You're going to get media doing it, alternative media coming out and doing it, and mate, the stuff that's coming out now on mainstream media is about the Little Hats are responsible for the JFK assassination.
Yeah, that's been a common theme recently, hasn't it?
Yeah, not in mainstream media, but like recently, all of this is coming out. They're talking about obviously the occupation of Palestine, organ harvesting, we've been to the forefront. All the Pizzagate stuff's pretty out there, basically now with Epstein and Diddy, innit? And obviously it just hasn't gone as far into like the deep dark depths of it yet. But it's basically fucking Pizzagate.
It's basically been sort of normalised, hasn't it, because of the Diddy thing as well? Because now like, then again, it could just be the algorithm showing me this online. Everyone is sort of talking about, they're all pedos. It's just sort of common knowledge.
I was working today, right, and there was a bricklayer at the job. I've only met the last 2 days, right, and he's well, he knows what's going on, like surface level. He hasn't done it at 10k, but he knows he knows vaccine bad, Little Hat's bad.
I almost corrected you then. I remember this is Peasant Tron.
And he said to me earlier, let's shift it forward towards the actual bit of documentary, because that was just a little bit of our introduction here.
Is it, what, from like here?
Man, I go a little bit back, maybe.
A little bit back?
Yeah.
What, even before this warning? We're about to tell the truth.
Right, yeah, here we go. I feel like there's no hope.
Should we just
hit it.
Let's go for it. The first part of Occupied by Stu Peters. We need to be a bit careful because we could get done for a copyright strike here.
No, we're playing the first like little tiny bit of it, and we're going to pause it and stuff.
There doesn't appear to be any noise. What is that?
Are we here, Michael?
Oh,
There's
that's
clearly
why. Let me just get a little reload there, Michael. Warning, this is anti-Semitic. this is not suitable for children.
לא העיקרי, קודם כל, לתת להם מכות, לא רק מכות כל כך מכירות, שהמחיר יהיה כבד למצוא. כרגע המחיר לא כבד למצוא. התקפה רמת היקף ברשות הפלסטינית. זה לפחד שהכל מתמוטט.
לא פוחדים, צוחקים להם, יראו לנו את הישר וצחוק ופשוט הם לא פוחדים.
זה מה שמביא אותם
ואז, רגע, אבל אז רשות פעם העולם יגיד מה, אתם פורשים? אתה לא מפחד מהעולם, ביבי.
במיוחד היום עם אמריקה, אני יודע מה זה אמריקה. זה לא שאפשר להזיז אותו בקלות, להזיז לכיוון הנכון.
אומרים שהם בעדינו, אבל כאילו...
לא יכניעו.
אז אם אנחנו עושים לזה משהו, אז הם...
יש שם להבטח שלנו. 80% מהאמריקאים תומכים בה. זה אבסורד, יש לנו שם תמיכה.
This is nuts. If this is an accurate translation, this
I reckon we hit it there, Michael.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, as you can see, we take things at a very different pace on Peasant Tron. Peasant Tron is a different animal.
Yes, it is.
We can
I
really...
prefer Peasant Tron.
You're having more fun
I
on
prefer-
Peasant Tron.
Yeah.
The thing is, right, for now, us Friday nights is like is our duty to keep this, to hold this space for the Ramish community
Yes, it is, yeah.
digitally every other Friday live. But the thing is, you know, me and PG are meeting up a lot more now to create content. And let's face it, if we really want to go for it, we just can't put it on YouTube anymore. That's the sad fact, guys. And, you know, I hate to say it, we haven't got any strikes at the moment, but we're on a warning.
There's no way we could talk about. Look what we presented last night that we haven't released yet.
Oh shit! Yeah.
There's no way
that's
can
coming
go
out on Sunday
no
night.
No way that can come out on YouTube.
Well,
and both of the videos we did last night. There's no way they can come out.
Oh
on YouTube.
god, it's not, especially not the second one.
We
the shorter one about the Talmud.
We investigated some ultra Talmudic Lev Tahor Jewish sex cult from Guatemala that have just been apprehended, and we dug right into that, and that's just coming. Like, there's no way we can talk about that in depth on YouTube, Michael.
No. So yeah, if you want,
it's 8:33 with 167 peasants tuned in. Magic still isn't here.
There's still no call off him.
It's not happening. It's not happening, guys.
The last I heard of him was at 7 o'clock.
You're getting organic rise above. No, there's no Schwab show. We're just going to go freestyle tonight.
Well, I've got you know, there's always some backup schwabbery, you know.
Okay.
But anyway, shall
what
we?
What have you got in your quiver there, Michael?
In my quiver. Well, we've actually got a blank Schwabber's board down here.
No, I've got Memory Wars.
Oh, you wrote down
Memory
Wars.
Memory Wars from.
Okay. What should we do? Should we do the competition?
Let's do the comp.
Okay, get ready on the buttons. So once again, guys, let me just get.
Remember, I've told you guys many times.
Make these cameras a bit better. Okay, right. So the prize, and this has been available for the last 2 weeks, is the Sonic's 2 terabyte hard drive.
I'll do a drum roll, but there's no fucking music.
Just be inventive with the buttons. So remember, to get into this competition, you had to sub to the Peasant Tron. In this mug, rejects your the Soviet Union mug. I've got, I think it's 16 or 17 names of the new people that have joined Patreon in the last 2 weeks. One of them
clearly racist.
is about to win this. Hold your horses.
Raw.
Right, I'm going to give it a proper shake so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm picking a name completely at random. The name, the winner of the hard drive.
Who is it?
I'm not going to say their full name, but the first name is Nicholas.
Let me tell you, unbelievable.
Nicholas, if you joined Patreon in the last 2 weeks, you were entered. I did message everyone to tell them you were entered to win this, and you have won the hard drive. Congratulations.
Gosh.
Right, I'll put that there and make sure I don't forget. Okay, so that was the competition from the last 2 weeks, right? We have got a competition this week as well, and I'm just going to get a QR code up on the screen. Big shout out to everyone tuned in. One of our official sponsors, Liberty Silver Designs. Now, you can see that me and Andy are sporting our Ramish silver pieces right here.
Our sigils.
We've actually got
the chain, solid silver chain as well.
Yep. We have a package here.
They spare no expense at LSD.
Right, check this out. It comes in a little box like this. It even has a certificate to show it is proper silver. There's the certificate. It is the new Raw Rabbit design. And this is the prize for the competition for the next 2 weeks.
What? Wow.
Sterling silver, not only a sick piece of jewellery, it's an investment as well. Silver is always a good investment. Now, you've guessed it. If you want to be in a chance to win this, and you're not already on Patreon,
Raw.
to be entered into the prize competition, which we're going to announce in 2 weeks' time on February 14th.
It's clearly racist.
We'll try and make sure that the competition isn't. Yeah, February 14th, we'll be announcing the winner. Yeah, you need to sub to Patreon. Let me get the QR code on the screen. There it is. Now, Patreon Massive, you can enter the competition too. All you need to do to enter the competition is to take a screenshot of you sharing Rise Above on your social media, Facebook, Instagram. We've got loads of reels all over the place now. You can share them very easily. You can share a link to the Friday night show. You take a screenshot of it and send it to me at riseabovelivestream@gmail.com. I'm just going to put the email address on the ticker at the bottom. Hold on. There it is, riseabovelivestream@gmail.com. You've got 2 weeks to enter the competition to win the Silver Rabbit pendant from Liberty Silver Designs. Give me some feedback in the comments. How cool is that?
I'd quite like a schmooly button.
Oh,
I'd quite like a Rabbi Schmoody button.
That means we've got to sit around all night.
In the chat, give me some flames if you think we should get a Rabbi Schmoody button. For
Only Patreon people are going to know who Rabbi Schmoody is.
No, they won't. No.
Does everyone know who it is?
They know exactly who Rabbi Schmoody is.
Literally the worst of the worst. So, where's my screen share gone?
He's not the worst of the worst. We could get a Mendel Schneerson button.
He is pretty bad.
That is...
I've never even heard that guy speak. I don't know what he talks about.
I've heard him speak. It's in Hebrew. He doesn't speak English.
Oh, right. Yeah, he can't speak English, and he speaks directly to the Messiah. So 171 people tuned in.
It's not even him. He's just the body for the cube. It just comes from the cube directly through his body and out.
Is that what you're saying?
That's what Schneerson was, yeah.
No.
He could be Shmuley could be the reincarnation of... His energy could have transferred over to Shmuley. He's that disgusting.
I wouldn't be surprised.
He's one of the... I think he's the most vile character in clown world.
Look at
Rabbi Shmuley. Yeah, look at the flames.
Shmuley button, please. Bring the Shmuley button. Okay, so here's one Patreon video which we made, which is coming out on Sunday, where I reviewed a video from this guy. Now, I know it's Pineal Foundation. I've been emailing someone called Yazin Amar. I don't know if it's this dude, but this is the dude that we're getting on the show from Pineal Foundation, and he's going to be talking about ancient alien AI, and that is in 2 weeks' time on February the 14th. So remember, oh yeah, big shout Tim, DJ Tim and the kitchen crew. Oh my God. Yes, Tim, get that comment back on the screen. Many years ago, when I was a young up and coming MC, and I was trying to get on the mic at every opportunity, there was this one place, my mate's house, where their after parties would happen, and the decks would be in the kitchen. And
nice, good choice.
Yeah, good choice. Always good choice. And we had some some very late sessions in the kitchen. King of Sting wants us to do a Hitler button as well.
To be fair, that's one of our sponsors, so we're going to have to kind of...
we have to abide. The sponsors want the Hitler button. Let's do it.
That's the thing, guys. When you're independent media, like what me and Lance are doing here, and we're not funded by Israel. We don't have to succumb. We don't have to succumb to the requests of the Cube. We have to succumb to the requests of, somebody who's funny and gets us. And he wants us to have a Hitler button, so, we're going to do it.
Absolutely.
We'll do it.
Oh, big shout out to Toroidal Dynamics. He's tuned in as well.
Oh, Sam.
Oh, he knows this dude. That's Agua, a.k.a. Martin Kenny. Okay, well, the dude that I've been emailing is not this dude, but he's coming on the show. That's Agua. So check out Pineal Foundation, or if you want to see us...
Video's fucking wild.
It is absolutely wild.
Got taken down very shortly, didn't it? It went up and then it came down.
It was up for a matter of hours.
Luckily, Michael ripped it from the Schwab net.
Yeah, and it's absolutely wild. of Sunday
thank
night.
you. Right, thank you. In the comment section here. Right, KC. Okay. Thank you. Ancient Aliens. Right, this dude did a sick presentation. It was fucking great. And then right at the end, the very last bit he said was the Galactic Federation are waiting. And I said to Michael, turn this shit off.
But that's the thing. No. Yeah, but you can't. Yeah, but that's not being a syncretist, Andy PG.
No. I'm aware of that. But what I'm saying is that, like, we are now going to get associated with Ancient Aliens, which we're not. We specifically want to talk to this guy about the ancient AI.
He calls it an alien AI, and he doesn't mean from outer space. Or
we're not talking about anything. David Wilcox, Corey Good, any of that Gaia shit. There's none of that going down here, right? And I'm going to grill the guy. I said this on our Peasant Tron video.
This is why you need to watch the Peasant Tron video.
I'm going to grill this guy because right at the end of that, he started going all new age fucking bullshit.
You think he dropped a turd at the end?
Oh, he dropped a massive turd, right on my head at the end.
Yeah,
of that.
Don't worry, we're not getting like Graham Hancock or
no.
What's the dude who just goes aliens like that with like mad hair? I don't know.
Mad hair.
You know the main meme of the main dude of Ancient Aliens, and he goes, "It's aliens."
Fucking.
His surname's like Greek.
He's Italian. Giorgio. Fucking no.
I thought it's Theodopolopoulos or something.
No. I know exactly who you mean. I'm gonna get him up.
Yeah, find him. We need to find that dude. Okay, so that's the show in 2 weeks, and here's a picture of the prize in case you didn't see it when I just showed it on camera because the camera view wasn't the best for it. There you go. That's the prize that is up for grabs, which you will get if you join our Patreon in the next 2 weeks. And if you're already a member of Patreon and you want to enter this competition to win the rabbit,
this dude.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. I can't. What's his name? I can't find his name. Keep talking, Michael.
Get off images and then you'll find it.
Yeah, I know. I'm making sure that was the same dude we were talking about.
Okay, yeah. So sub to Patreon. You won't regret it. There's some absolute fire content on there. Who's put Billy Carson in the comments?
Oh, fuck off. See, look. We're a laughing stock. Now we're a laughing stock.
Casey Connolly saying absolutely none of that alien BS.
No,
that's right.
Thank you. That's correct.
Ancient Aliens and Hitler, where else can we go? 2 won't be medical join in the house. Yeah, that was good.
Right here, right now, is where we draw the line.
Toroidal Dynamics is saying, where is it? Martin Kenny put out some good work in early 2020. Well, this video that we watched, it was fire. Anyway, join the competition. You know what to do.
Giorgio, I was right. Giorgio A. Tuscaris.
Tusakis?
That dude.
Something like that.
There's none of that going on here, guys, just to clarify. But we're going to have the guy on because we're going to talk to him about the ancient alien AI.
And I want to talk about the ancient reptilian cloning technology he was talking about.
Yeah, and we want to talk to him about the correlation between the two.
Listen, some of the stuff he was saying
cuboid
was very archaic. Some of the stuff he was saying was very Vagian. We know a lot of crossovers.
Yeah, massive load of crossovers. The whole thing's could be schwabbed together in one if he is on board with the Black Cube organisation, which are perpetrating all of this. And we've speculated that they're the keepers of the realm.
And we've also speculated that the Orange Messiah, aka Donald Trump, is essentially he's the CEO of the Black Cube organisation.
He's the CEO of the Black Cube organisation. He literally is.
All right, should we have a meme or two?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, here's another one that we were talking about on Patreon the other day in midweek Raw, or was it on last week's show when we got the calculator out and that hoe Bonnie Blue, who's all over the media for shagging 1,000 men in 12 hours.
Yeah.
Was that on Patreon or was that on Friday?
I can't remember, Michael.
But I know we got the calculator out and we just did the maths completely wrong. And then someone put in the comments, stick to MCing and podcasting, your maths is rubbish.
Yeah.
I think it was on Peasant Tron. So anyway, this story of this woman...
Hey, I don't claim to be a fucking astrophysicist.
Me neither. I've been shit
fucking mathematician.
Anyway, this Bonnie Blue character has been all over the media for breaking the world records of being like the world's greatest slut, like the 1,000 men in 12 hours. And we were trying to work out the biggest hoe of all time. It's like empirical proof. We got a calculator and we tried to work out, like, how long did each guy take? Is this even feasible? Didn't get it right. So here's a meme that I think this one is from King of Sting.
It's clearly racist.
You have stolen my childhood.
Quite a dwelling peasants.
Sloppy seconds to a whole new level.
Did you feel that last one was necessary?
No,
Yeah.
that's too much, wasn't it?
Yeah.
10th in line for sex with Grandmaster Ginny proudly poses after achievement. So this is great work by King of Sting, obviously, you know, parodying this
I think
bird that's all over the media for being the world's biggest slut.
shout out to Auntie Covia, right? I once commissioned her on the King's coronation weekend I commissioned her to make a meme of Grandmaster Ginny taking Lord Sausage Fingers from behind.
Oh, really?
And she did it. She actually went onto some gay porn and got some guys, then cut their heads off and put the appropriate positions. So she said it traumatized her.
I remember
making that meme. Yeah,
I remember that one. Yeah, it's particularly bad.
Yeah.
So
anything with Grandmaster Ginny, I think, traumatizes the memetician.
So 1,057 men in 12 hours. There's also another one called Lily something that looks exactly like this bird, which we haven't got a picture of. And they're doing some massive sort of like record-breaking sluttery. I can't help but thinking it's sort of like normalising gang rape. And putting that into the you know, hundreds of men queuing up to have a go on this blonde woman.
I mean, isn't gang rape pretty much? If you're going to equate that to gang rape, isn't that just?
No, obviously it's consensual.
But but you could just go onto fucking Pornhub or get that shit.
What, 1,000 men?
Well,
in 12
maybe not
hours?
1,000, but I'm probably get 100. Or I don't know. I'm not into that. That's not what I'm searching for.
Let me wind it back a bit. What I will say is this is getting so much coverage that there has to be some sort of psyop.
I get
what
you're saying. Yeah,
it's definitely about the degradation of society.
Yeah, 100%. I would argue it's just about it's the death of the goddess. It's the attack on the feminine.
Now I thought, oh right, so who's behind this? And just weirdly, it came out the story that this bird is married, and the husband is not happy about it. And I saw a video of them walking together, and I took a couple of screenshots. I'm just going to make it bigger.
The chick who's taking 1,000
this
dicks
is her.
is married.
I forgot. Obviously, I do have a picture. I said a minute ago we haven't got a picture of her. So this is her, Bonnie Blue, with her. Now she's saying that she's 25 years old.
She is.
That's what she's claiming. 25 or 26, I think. For one, this guy looks a lot older.
He looks like Dracula, mate.
What's he wearing? Have you
velvet?
Yeah, but look at it. Look at his.
Yeah.
This is not Photoshop. This is from a video.
He's got some crowns on his.
Does it look a bit Freemasonic?
Very Masonic, or very.
It's something.
Yeah, very something.
You don't wear that just for That's not fashion. That's showing I'm part of something. Do you know what I'm saying? Does anybody in the comment section recognise these insignias and? Well, that looks like a jewel encrusted cross. He's
maybe a member of the Christian Reich, maybe mid-level to high up, semi-high up. I don't know.
Anyone that's good with secret society, does that like ring any bells? I just thought this was an interesting one.
I can't believe she's even married. That to me just tells you it's a psyop straight away. Because what self-respecting dude was let his wife go and fuck 100 guys.
Well, the worst thing is there are all these articles now where these sort of like...
Has he got no penis or something? Can he physically not fuck?
Maybe he's like one of those vampires where their private parts just like withered away. They're just asexual.
Is he like an androgynous fucking grey?
What's everyone saying in the comment section? Is anybody else noticed that this story in the UK at least is everywhere, or is it just my algorithm? Can I get some feedback on that? Because I was wondering. Have you seen much about it?
I've seen loads about it. Even Piers Morgan mentioned it.
Yeah.
Piers Smorgasbord mentioned it.
Another wicked meme here. This is from You've Been Nudged. Queer Stalin just going from strength to strength, week in, week out, becoming more and more far left.
He's so far left. He's almost far right.
Yeah,
he's nearly gone full circle.
He's basically far horseshoe. 21B Medical Joy says, Lance, it's just you. Lord Doobsworth has not heard of this. Everywhere I look on social media, there's articles about it.
I've seen loads about it. I can't believe peasants haven't heard of it.
Maybe my phone can. I saw one article, and my black cube, my personal black cube, has sensed my disgust.
Mate,
and that just showed
Jeremy
me loads of
Vine was fucking talking about it on Radio 2, man.
Yeah. Woke Britannia, big shout to You've Been Nudged on this one.
Here we go.
Okay. So obviously, since we've Andy PG rolls up his sleeves, let's talk about.
I'm just saying, this is the most prominent subject at the moment.
Yeah. Well, what's your take about what's going on?
You want to actually know my take about what's going on YouTube? I would say that the Orange Meshiach has been charged by the ancient AI reptilians working through the ultra Hasidic Orthodox fake Jews who claim to be Jewish, and he is going to take over the world and implement AI.
Yo, it's Mr. Traumatic.
No, that's a rubbish.
The problem is you're a fucking retard.
If you're following Donald Trump, yes. He's going to lead you to exactly the same place as Joe Biden would. It's just less men with, less women with dicks.
Have we got anyone in the comment section watching now that's still on Team Trump? Because don't forget, we were having this conversation with Daddy Dragon.
Don't forget, guys, we've spoke about this. It's designed for you to like what he's doing. He's cutting out the trans shit. He's deporting all the immigrants that we don't want here and all of that shit. It's designed for you to like what he's doing. So if you buy into it, where's that?
Ooh, that was close.
The problem is you're a fucking retard.
That's if you're buying into it. That's.
So what's he doing here? What are these two breaking? President Trump is to sign an executive order to identify, punish, and deport anti-Semites. Oh, that's not so good.
So what he's actually talking about in this is he's specifically talking about legitimate immigrants like students and stuff who are here on a visa who excuse me, who protested anti-Israel and in favour of Palestine at college campuses. He's even talking about getting rid of all the left-wing pro-Palestinian professors.
He's banning Black Lives Matter.
He's basically he's in the pocket of the cube, essentially.
Trump signs executive order protecting children from gender mutilation. Even just not too long ago, even just suggesting that what was happening was children were being gender mutilated was officially like a right-wing hate crime. Mm-hmm. Which, you would get, if you said that in the wrong place, you would get asked to leave.
You have a strike on YouTube.
Yeah, you'd have to, yeah. Now he's signing an executive order that means it's in America, it's legally a fact. Although, guys, we do know this is a play and it's a pretty good one at the moment. You can't help.
I did a great video, if I do say so myself, on Peasant Tron about the real reason for what the Soviet Union did in 2020. And some people say, was it for the Britney Spears concert? Some people say, was it a transfer of wealth?
That video's had our biggest amount of feedback so far.
It was a really good video. We had a great conversation there.
Yeah.
And I think we came to the correct conclusion, but you'll have to go to Peasant Tron to check it out, guys.
And the plan is for the event, the presentation that me and Andy want to do is sort of like
part two.
It's schwabbing everything together that we've been talking about recently.
Including the validity of the Holocaust. That's right, I said it on Friday night.
Talk about that at the event.
I just said, yeah, I might drop that at the event.
Brett Atkinson.
It's all relevant. It's all... What's going on now isn't possible because of that, but that's a whole other story. We're not going to get into it. But basically, from what you've got on the screen here, Donald Trump, he is very pro-Israel and little hats. Next slide, Michael.
Yes. This is a meme. I think this is quite nice, actually. Let's just take a moment to appreciate this. You've got to check out @You've Been Nudged on Twitter. The memes, proper old school anti-COVID memes, really good staple. Trust the science. That's the Azov Battalion.
Good choice. Yeah.
See that?
And the trident as well has been turned on its side for the E.
Yeah,
to the left of
You've
it.
got everything.
Yeah,
got a rainbow dildo. Actually, let's break this down. A $sign, Hamelin sickle, rainbow dildo.
The trident being turned on its
sort of like a devil's trident. Azov Battalion, sort of sideways swastika. G for Google, and oh my god, and like for the green revolution at the end.
Excellent, really well done.
Really
very
good
well
work.
thought out.
Yeah, you've got sometimes with these guys, you've actually got to take a little bit of time to appreciate, and you can't just cast your eyes over it and go, "That's good." No. You've actually really got.
But
to look.
again, Michael, for the general peasant who hasn't done a 10K, they're just going to schwab over that and just see it as.
Well, that's
they
fine.
might pick out the rainbow dildo and the communist sickle, but they're not going to know what the fucking Azov battalion.
Mate, it's like any great work of art made by an old master who most of them were occultists. You know, to the average peasant, they could look at it and go, "Yeah, nice painting." But to someone who
knows,
someone's in the know,
yeah,
someone who initiated, someone that can actually see what's been put into it, they see something
and the meaning
completely
behind
different.
it.
That's the way the clan verse works.
211 peasants tuned in here, can't he?
Yeah. So it doesn't actually look like Magix is going to come, does it?
No, mate, it's 9 o'clock, lads. Right, he was supposed to be here well before 8 o'clock.
Oh yeah. Do you know what? I've got to give a great shout to Lucy of Juicy and Lucy. She's been doing all of our new reel videos.
Lance has showed me some of what she's been doing. It's really, really good.
Really, really good work. Got to give her a shout. She's just asked if you've got a copy of that ancient AI video. Can I possibly have a copy? Obviously, when you've got 5 minutes.
I thumbs up that she has received a thumbs up.
I have got a copy of it, and I will send it to you. Absolutely. Okay, where were we? Oh shit. So the next one, I feel like I should get the other slideshow.
Veg will be calling in a minute.
Veg
Has he got the right number?
He should be calling in on that phone.
On the broccoli hotline.
Yeah, make sure it's connected. It should be. Where's the chat gone? Big shout out to everyone tuned in. It's Friday night. Now we start at 8 p.m. Usually till about 11. And tonight we are just freestyling it in what was supposed to be a pirate radio show.
That's all right, mate. And it's organic, raw.
Like back in the good old days. All right, one more meme. Dr. Woke. This is also yeah. Oh. Yeah. This is.
Look at the fingernails, Michael.
Yeah, he's even put like occult symbols on the fingernails. That's what I'm saying. This is from the same guy.
Yeah, nice.
So this is Ruda Bacana, I think that's how you say his name, the Southport killer. And
this guy is singularly responsible for the rise of the Christian Reich in the UK specifically, I'm going to argue.
This is like the UK's 9/11.
Yeah, I'd not say 9/11, but I'd say this is the trigger mechanism for the Christian Reich.
For this cycle, for this Olympiad cycle.
100%, then it's on 9/11.
That's the 9/11 of this Olympiad cycle for sure. Yeah, a really terrible event. But it turns out that the guy who had not only been working with the BBC as a child actor is also the descendant of someone involved in like machete atrocities in Rwanda.
Shout out to Queer Stalin.
Yeah, thank you, Queer Stalin.
Who helped this person be here.
Yeah, great work.
Helped his father stay in the country after he was facing extradition.
Thanks for doing your work.
And Queer Stalin helped to. Actually, it was Queer. He was his direct lawyer.
I believe he was
the father of this fucking mercenary.
It's shady, but Queer Stalin was definitely involved in some respect in a human rights lawyer to try and their appeal of getting extradited back to Rwanda,
so that he could stay here. In turn, had that child. That child grew up and fucking was clearly radicalized at some stage, and then went on to do that.
Let's see what the comments are saying for a moment. Q Tracks is like, yeah, great meme.
Yeah, Michael.
Do you know what? Yeah, I'll have a cider if that's all right, mate. How you lot feeling on a Friday night? Is everyone just chilling at home, having a few drinks, potentially smoking? Yeah, we apologise for no music tonight. Magix is probably claim that that something really weird happened to him. He might still turn up, who knows. But me and Andy PG are just freestyling. It's a big shout out to everyone that entered the competition to win the hard drive. That was won by Nicholas. If you haven't already worked out, you got to send me a message on Patreon, mate, and we'll get that hard drive sent to you. And let me just go back to it. Where's it gone? The prize competition for the next 2 weeks is the Sterling Silver Rabbit from Liberty Silver Designs. Let's get the QR code on the screen, everyone. Remember, these are one of our sponsors, and they have kindly donated this Sterling Silver Gold chain with the Ra Bit pendant, and you can win it. All you need to do is sub to Patreon in the next 14 days for only £3 a month. Or if you're already a member of Patreon, you can simply take a screenshot of you sharing some Rise Above media somewhere on your social media, a clip, a reel, or just a link to the Friday show. Send it to riseabovelivestream@gmail.com and I will enter you into the competition as well. And we will read that out on February 14th when we speak to, I think he's called Agua. Yazin Amar must be his PR, his PA, sorry, from the Pineal Foundation about the ancient alien reptilian AI. It's going to be sick.
Right here, right now, is where we draw the line.
Thought Criminal says, how does Starmer like his coffee? Is this leading up to a joke? Who else have we got tuned in here? Big shout out to Tone Deaf, Daryl Shevlin, obviously Lord Doobsworth, I can see you. Big shout out to Milwana, Chris, Michelle Partridge, Rachel McCaskill, 21B Medical Droid.
You're doing great, ladies. Good job.
Are the girls all right in there? Uh-oh.
I think there was some mushroom tincture kicking around the green room earlier.
Oh, I've got to
and
deal
it's
with
very giggly
I've
in
got
there.
to deal with that later on.
It's very giggly in there. Yeah, you're going to have to deal with something.
Awesome. So we were talking about, and again, we should be hearing something from Inspector Veg any moment. It is 9 o'clock.
Come on, Inspector Carrot. Get with the programme.
We were talking about this.
Actually, can anyone just get with the programme tonight?
Yeah. Yeah, can anyone please get with the programme? We were talking about this, Andy PG.
What we got, Michael?
The Southport Killer.
The extremist.
And how this is being used as our one of breaking of the second seal events here in the UK. We might talk a little bit more about that later on. Oh, what have I got here? Oh, this is the thing that we were talking about.
Oh, careful, Michael.
I'm just showing.
Okay,
I'm
it's a
just
headline.
showing
That's
something
it.
from the mainstream media.
We did it was about an hour we chatted about this for last night.
No, this was a short video, about 20 minutes we did on this. But ultra-Orthodox Jewish cult leader arrested in Guatemala on child abuse and human trafficking charges. The cult is called Lev Tahor.
It's definitely longer than 20 minutes. You had 5-6 articles out about this last time.
I can't remember. Yeah. Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't. But yeah, that will be going up soon.
Very, very nasty shit going on here. As you can see here, they've been led away by Interpol.
Yeah, we tracked these guys all around the world just by reading
Literally
articles.
all around the world.
Yeah.
Since the 80s.
Yeah, so if you want to know more about that, I'm afraid you'll have to head over to Peasant Tron.
Again, something
don't really
we
feel
just
I can
can't
speak
talk about,
freely.
you can't.
It's one of those ones you can't necessarily
Like,
speak
horrific
freely.
shit going on there.
Lord Doodworth says no music. I took a pill for nothing. Send an email to the customer services department complaining about magics, and I'll read it out.
We
on
could
the next
open
show.
up the phone lines, Michael.
I think we probably should.
We could open up
we
the
will
phone
open
lines.
the phone
Guys,
lines.
give us some flames. Actually, give us a telephone emoji.
Yeah,
if you want us to open up the phone lines.
Show us the telephone emoji,
Show us the
please.
telephone emoji.
Let's get the chat back on the screen.
We could put a camera in the green room.
No. Another meme. Let's see what this is doing. This is rather nice. This is from someone called Xena, like Meme Princess. The Day of the Dead. Depopulation had never been so easy or consensual. Obviously, Lord Schwab.
Look how well George Soros just fits into the zombie. Like how well his face just looks like a zombie anyway.
Yeah. Oh no, they didn't need to do any effects to make him look like that. That's really what he looks like. So yeah, this is nice. It's funny how like the Horsemen of the Apocalypse now includes Enki Musk, Orange Mashiach. Lord Swab is still there. He's still like the biggest one.
Yeah, but he's like in the background, isn't he? But he's not. He's in the forefront of the background. He's not in the background because we know who he is.
Yeah. But it's still carrying out his plan. Let me just get back to the screen here so I can. Okay. Guess the other big happening this week, well, was it actually only yesterday, was this plane crashing into the helicopter.
Black Hawk Down.
Black Hawk Down. Now,
funny enough, you said that. Becky S has just sent me a.
Is that on the WhatsApp?
No, it's just part. But you carry on, and I'll slip it in when necessary.
So
thank you, Becky S.
It's a pretty big event. Washington, D.C., a plane a passenger plane crashes into a military Black Hawk helicopter.
Other way around, Michael.
The helicopter crashes into the plane. But I think the most important thing that's very strange and very odd and very rare about this is a Black Hawk helicopter, which is obviously a high-tech piece of military equipment, being anywhere near on the same
Have you got
flight
the video
path.
of the actual accident?
No.
Wait, 2 seconds. Keep talking. I'll get it. Becky to send it.
We need to send it to WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Then we can get proper interactive. We'll just whack the WhatsApp on the screen. So a lot of posting about it. A lot of people have been coming up with a lot of different stuff. This is from someone on Facebook. I can't remember what their name is. Washington, D.C. was built on top of the Tiber River, named after the river god Tiberinus. Washington, D.C. was originally called Rome, really. The river god Tiberinus. And obviously there's a 33 in here as well. So
the collision happened on approach to runway 33.
Yeah, so I think was the plane landing on runway 33?
At Reagan Washington National. It sounds like pagan.
Pagan
Washington
National Airport. So, okay, I believe we have received something.
Here we go.
Becky
Becky S. Let's hit it up. She's got it. She's on it. Also, Jess Chaplin has just sent me a picture of runway 33, which we just literally just talked about there. So thank you, Jess.
Oh, right. So this is something off Twitter. The helicopter just left the CIA base. It was flying dark, not as a helicopter, but as an unidentified plane on the radar. It's
this is the
an
thing.
erratic pathway.
It changed altitudes multiple times and changed direction, I think, 6 times.
Oh, I think we've got our special guest. I think we've got Veg in the digital green room. Let me just change the camera.
Becky's saying they changed the runway last minute.
Oh, really? Veg, give us a thumbs up if you're ready to come on. All right, sweet. Okay.
We're going to come back to the incident in question after we speak to Inspector Carrot here.
Right. Let's get him in the chat. Yo, Veg.
Let's get some carrot emojis up in the chat, guys. Inspector Carrot is in
the place.
How you doing, bro?
I'm hanging in there, man. I'm hanging in there.
So, it's been a while since we've heard from you, but you've been well, am I going to say busy, or at least you've had a pretty good time recently.
He's been raiding Birdseye Baby Mum's fridges.
Yeah, Birdseye Baby Mum's has exploded. Tell us all about it, mate.
Well, yeah, I was just out every day in front of Iceland, selling the herbs in front of Iceland's in Brixton. This DJ was there, DJ AG, and I went up there and I spat a little lyric. I went on for about 15 minutes and he only put the first track on there and then he uploaded that and that sounded good. That was Leave That Junk on the Shelf. So I thought, let me just go home and get my USB, bring my stick and try the Birdseye thing because I know people like that. I dropped the I did the Birdseye lyric. It looks about 6 days. It says he ain't uploading it. I said, oh, maybe I used the word bitches, so he ain't uploading it. I was just running a retreat near Glastonbury with my friend. I had a few people down with running a retreat. And then my phone was just going bing, 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 bing. And my phone was just going mental for about 3 weeks to nearly a month. It just exploded. And then the Birdseye tune, it just blew up, man.
Yeah, mate. It's getting shared all over the place. People doing like remixes of it. So, do you think like finally something just blowing up like that has really helped to get you on the map? Because you've got more exposure now than you've had on any of your socials before, isn't it? It's really gone viral. Yeah. It's done over 8 million on Instagram and TikTok. So I think I had about 3K followers on my Instagram, and then it went up. So it's gone up to like 17.5 now. It went up to like 15K in about 3 weeks from 3,000 followers. And it had just the audience just got so big. And I didn't go, I weren't really on TikTok. Otherwise, I could have put that up. But it was all over TikTok. So, yeah, it's been a lot of people messaging, a lot of opportunities are popping up now. There's things going on now, like sponsorships. And there's a few things that are happening now. So I guess it's just opened up more doors at the same time for the music thing. Yeah. So have you had like some like higher up people in like A&R or anyone like that contacting you, or are you getting more inquiries? Yeah, I'm getting more inquiries like bookings and messages and all that, and social media. I have to find someone to
manage the social media and help me with that. But yeah, the social media thing it's crazy, man. So I have to just try and keep my head out of the social media. I'm just trying to learn how to manage that. And with the herbs, loads of more people are ordering herbs at the same time. So it's just, it's made me see things in a bit of a different way, really. It's a new experience.
Yeah, well, you know, obviously this is the blessing, mate. So first things first, you've got to make sure you capitalise as much as you can, you know, to carve your little corner so you can keep spreading the good work, selling the herbs and everything.
So, mate, you're rising, Veg. You're rising like an asparagus from the ground.
I'm rising like an asparagus.
That's right.
From the ground, yeah. Man.
Oh, what's going on?
Oh, what's going on? We lost you there, Veg. The last thing we heard was asparagus from the ground.
I'm rising like an asparagus from the ground. But I've seen recently there's been a lot of more like haters and trolls and stuff that's coming through in the social media at the same time. So that must be a good sign as well. And there's a lot of bird's eye baby mums in despair right now.
No, we lost you again, Veg, mate. You've gone all shady.
This time, but
now, we last thing we got was bird's eye baby mums are pissed.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, yeah.
Bird's eye baby mums are pissed off, but bottom line is...
Oh, Veg, we lost you then.
Do you know what? I'm going to go put it on audio only, Veg. Turn your camera off because I think you're maxing out your signal.
He's not privileged to the 33 megapixels.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, okay. Can you hear us? Yeah, we can hear you, mate.
Yeah, so bottom line is what I'm saying, angry at me, but bottom line is fish fingers just ain't cutting it anymore. And lentils ain't that expensive. Lentils ain't that expensive. Neither are chickpeas, you know, you could use a few kidneys like that. But I understand that most people don't have many colds. It just takes a little bit of effort and you can give the kids something a little bit more wholesome. That's all I'm...
Well, yeah, that's a good message, mate. And like you say, it doesn't have to cost money to it. Well, no, it's good, but it's a good message because it doesn't have to cost money to to eat more healthy food and to not eat processed food. But it does take a little bit more expertise to be able to prepare it.
When you were at school, Michael, Veg, when you were at school, Lance, when you were at school, what did you get taught cooking wise, nutrition wise? What the fuck did they teach you?
There was like a home economics class.
Yeah, what did you make? A fucking pizza or something? Yeah, there you go. Nothing at all. The same as they didn't teach you how to do a fucking tax return.
Chicken dippers, baked beans. Chicken dippers, baked beans. You get what I'm saying? Mars bars, skips, whams, stuff. I was like 20, 22 years old. I was walking the streets, hating my parents to give me life, robbing people. I was a mental. And I just met a guy. He started talking about religion and breaking down different religions and the words and talking about how there was lies and actually true. So that made me thinking about religion. Then he started talking about the TV was had a negative effect on us, and there was like different type of teachings that came in. It made me start to question the world. And about Dr. Sebi was an inspiration for that, talking about electric food, primordial foods and herbal teas and stuff like that. And I looked at what I should be eating and what I have been eating. I was actually horrified, and it kind of makes sense that why we are living the way we are living and why we're acting the way we are acting, because the way we're treating ourselves and the things that we're putting in our bodies is wrong. And we're giving ourselves, if you put it down to chemistry, acid or alkaline, most of the time we're eating on the wrong and drinking on the wrong side of chemistry, and it's creating mucus in the body, it's feeding parasites, it's creating inflammation, and it's creating a lot of disease within.
Would you say
veg theory?
Would you say, Veg, that the more shit you eat, processed foods, the easier it is for an ancient reptilian little hat AI to penetrate your soul and take over your meat suit? Would you say that was? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
you heard it here first, guys, from Inspector Veg.
Shit, my friend said something the other day. when you eat shit, you manifest shit. When you eat shit and your body's full of shit, you manifest shit. This is a frequency war. So when you eat stuff that's on a lower vibration, you're more than likely to get inhabited by hitchhikers, and your body can get used by the carry out their desires
ancient
through
reptilian
us.
little
So
hat AI. Yeah, there you go.
I don't know what they're called. I don't know the name of whatever it is, but whatever it is that
We know, Veg.
Exploiting us, yeah. Whatever forces are exploited, likely to carry out their desires through us. If our blood is thick, like we're full of parasites, then we're always going to be at a disposition, really. So being able to actually clean up the body, keep the blood oxygenated, and actually work through our emotional stuff and work through our traumas and treat ourselves better is a way that we can actually contribute to the evolution of human consciousness. By the less toxicity we've got inside our bodies, the better it is for all of us. White, black, yellow, Chinese, Muslim, Christian. It doesn't matter who you are, what label you've attached yourself to. The better we treat ourselves, the better it's going to be for us in the long run, I think. And it's going to take time, but it's possible.
Veg, I'm going to Schwab the subject. What my favourite tune of yours isn't your newest tune. My favourite tune of yours is the one you that was produced and the music video was done when you were in Vietnam.
Oh, what's that tune?
Oh, yeah, it was a good one.
Leave that junk on the shelf.
Yeah, leave the junk on the shelf.
Yeah, get that help. That's it.
That's my favourite tune.
Yeah,
that's
that's my favourite tune. Has that blown up a little bit more? Has all the rest of your tunes been viewed and stuff a little bit more since you've gone viral with Bird's Eye Baby Mamas?
Yeah, they've more viewed. Yeah, people trickled over and started listening to the old stuff, but people just more like Bird's Eye was stuck on that. And a lot of people saying, "Oh, have you need to do a tune with Traumatic?" I'm like, I've got Traumatic. And a lot of people just watch that tune, but some people have gone back and listened to other stuff like the C19 stuff and the stuff I've had before. But I'm just surprised that more MCs, which is a shame, when the industry hasn't really got behind what I'm saying. Because another story I'll tell you is one of the, I made that tune Bust Up Your TV, and I made Trample about the C19 event that happened. I had one of the producers who made that beat, and he said to me that I sent that track about the C19 stuff to some of the grime DJs, and they said, because we don't know if it's true. When he said to me, most of the grime MCs are talking about killing people and shooting people. That's probably not true, and they don't ask them if that's not true, but they still play that.
Very good point.
So it's the lack of what you're saying.
I was saying that's very true. Do you think it's that's proof that there is basically
a lack of support from the?
Do you not think that there might be certain gatekeepers that have got the agenda that they must just promote the mindless stuff that's got about violence? Well, that's what I'm saying. Do you think that there might be an agenda to suppress the more conscious side of grime lyrics?
There's a lot of gatekeeping. Or I think there's a go on, but I think that a lot of people in the grime industry are probably not even aware of the deeper layers of what's actually going on, and they're just rapping, behaving, thinking and talking and dressing in a certain way so they can be part of the herd. But really, that people are not. Maybe they're just not really aware of certain things that's going on, or some people are aware that if they say certain things, they won't get as much airtime at the same time. So it's still tricky.
Do you know what,
it's still a tricky one to go with, because it's like, go on.
I was listening to Wiley stuff from about 21 and 22, and you don't get more mainstream grime than Wiley, and he was slyly mentioning stuff about jabs. There was one lyric, you man have some jabs for kebabs. You're literally just some fucking NPC. You got jabs for a kebab, and there's a few other like sly bits about about Babylon tricks and 666 and microchips and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay. So, whether they just pick it up from the mainstream sort of chat about when people are talking about it online and stuff, Yeah, but he did it sort of a bit more slyly than I just said it there. He spread that out in an 8-bar, but leaving other stuff in between. But you could hear what he was saying. I think it's 20. I can't remember what tune it was. On a couple of them.
Veg, would you say that you wouldn't be adverse to going to a different music genre as the grime industry is so like one way? I don't know if that's the right word to describe
I
it.
think maybe go.
What you're getting at.
I'd look to go over and make.
Would you reach out into different genres of music?
Yeah, that's what I am going to do. I've got a drum and bass, like acoustic stuff I'm going to work with. I've heard Temper T, he's said a few little bits. But yeah, maybe come away from the grime thing because they're not really supportive. But I'm always going to make grime, to be honest with you. But I just maybe expect less support from the grime industry or the grime scene.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe that's more of a better approach.
It's just been pointed out by a couple of people, and I should have thought of this as well because I followed it quite a lot. Wiley got basically cancelled for talking about a certain community of little hat wearers. Yeah, someone else
clearly racist.
He went a little bit too far. Yeah, you don't see that much.
You
of
can never go too far with the little hats.
Well,
you can't.
It depends whether you want to get cancelled or not.
Because that's the thing is now I see it like not getting cancelled. It's like now I have more of a platform. So it's like it's almost like you have to kind of maybe say less so that you then do have a reach. Because if you say more, you can get sort of shadow banned and cancelled. So then you have less of a reach. So you're trying to say more, but really you're just being blocked. So it's like it's a bit of a tricky situation. But how do you really be my authentic self when my authentic self might just be the guy that gets cancelled? Do you get what I'm saying? When I do I have to water it down or wear a green hat or play a jester for a little while, when the real me wants to say like, look, this is people are not being treated. We're working 40 hours a week doing things we don't want to do. We're selling us alcohol, drugs, or cheeseburgers or crap food, and the television's not telling us real stuff. The parents have got to go to work while the kids are getting sent to school. There's so many things that are just injustices that I see, and it's like the more and more you get bigger and bigger, is it like the less you can say?
I think that's definitely true to a certain extent, mate.
That's how it works. That's how it works. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just want to really maybe try and focus on the herbs and the nutrition side of it, and not talk about all the other stuff. And maybe just create a lane in that where I'm going to talk about health and nutrition and promote good food and try and get that to the young people. Maybe stay in that lane rather than talking about all the other the doom and gloom side of it all.
Yeah, well, also nowadays the way the media works, it's very easy to be cross. That makes sense. No, totally. It's very easy to be cross-genre now. So you see people that were MCs are now like, you know, they're I don't like the word influencers, or maybe even TV presenters, or everyone's got in multiple side hustles. So you know, the most important thing is you're trying to do something good, whether it's a video or a performance that gets you that recognition. It's just going to have some eyes on you. So, can't complain about that.
I can hear screaming laughter
so
coming from the green room.
233 people tuned in. We are chatting to Inspector Veg live on your Friday night. Yes, mate.
So I would say...
Did you just say...
We'll go on. Watch the Bird's Eye video if you can. If you want to support it, then you can buy the Bird's Eye, watch the Bird's Eye video, and underneath it there's a link on Bandcamp. So you can buy the track on Bandcamp if you want to support it. So I can carry on obviously making more music. I've got more tracks that I want to release. And share the Bird's Eye video, write a comment, and just push that single at the moment. And then I can move on to some other stuff. I've got other 2 videos recording. I've got more music that I'm doing, but I'm just trying to find out how I actually navigate this in a way that doesn't allow me to allows me to still send a positive message and just maybe focus on the food, really.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, that's what you're really all about, mate. That's what it boils down to. No, good work, Veg. Yeah, we're very happy for you, mate.
We're gonna play the track.
That I could just.
Yeah, should we play Bird's Eye Baby Mums? I've got the video.
Let's get out.
Let me. I'm literally just gonna. We can't have Veg on the line though, because otherwise we'll get.
I've got the remix. I'll also look out for the remixes coming soon. I've got Traumatic and Scammer and I Baby Mum remix, and that should be coming out within a month.
Sick. All right, big up Inspector Veg. What's the website, mate?
It's w.com, and if you want to get any health packs, I've got something called the Bird's Eye Baby Mum Health Pack, which contains inulin to absorb, sea moss for the calcium, and sarsaparilla for the bones, and sarsaparilla for the iron, and it also cleans the blood. If you got thick blood like milkshake and you want to get thin blood, sarsaparilla for the milkshake blood gang. Thank you very much,
the
you guys. I
milkshake
really
blood
appreciate
gang.
you guys always letting me on and being very supportive. So big up you guys, and big up the Rise Above crew. And
awesome, man. We love you. We love you here,
listening.
Veg. You know that.
Anytime, Veg, bruv. Yeah, big up Inspector Veg.
Yeah,
Always
big
a
up,
pleasure,
man.
mate. Rise Above family. That's
Next
what I'm
time,
talking
next
about.
time we're
Yes, you
coming to
guys.
London, we'll hit you up, brother.
All right, take care, Veg.
Hit me up, man. Take.
Rise above, generate, rise above.
Always great to hear from Inspector Veg. So I think it's only right. Let me share the screen. Is Veg trying to join again? Veg, did you not? Were you still saying? No, he's gone. Okay, maybe I thought he might.
Just don't pick it up.
No,
it's awkward now.
All right, okay. Let's get this on the go. Let me know. Can everyone hear this?
These bird's eye baby mums don't deserve these buggies, they make me sick. Cause they gon' get a whole week shopping in Iceland for like 25 quid. Fizzy sweets and chocolates, no fresh fruit herbs or veg, just processed meals or packed in boxes. It's for my bird's eye bitches, dirty skirting balls, dirty ovens and dirty fridges, no long ting bings on a hob oven, 15 minutes. Bird's eye mums, raising bird's eye daughters and bird's eye sons. The only time you eat fishes when you eat fish fingers, you don't eat fish around breadcrumbs. These bird's eye baby mums are like cooking, they're always in a rush to fold chips in the oven, put the Benson down, turn these standards off and cut some onions up. No chopping board, just a tray and some oven gloves, no time, no coriander, just mayonnaise and ketchup. These bird's eye baby mums don't want me to blow, they pray for my downfall, they want me to flop, they know they'll perish when I get the bird's eye flow on log. And my mixtape drops, they're gonna have to give the kids fruits in the morning. The truth is, they wanna give them cow's milk and cocoa pops. You can see them in as the Tesco, Sainsbury's, these kind of places. Chicken dippers, baked beans, spaghetti hoops, smiley faces. Yo, it's my bird's eye bitches, dirty skirting balls, dirty ovens and dirty fridges, no long ting bings on a hob oven, 15 minutes. It's the alkaline geezer, I'm not the bird's eye baby mum, please come to your crib, you know what it is. I'm checking out your fridge, I'm checking out your freezer, freezer. I'm checking out your fridge, I'm checking out your freezer. These bird's eye baby mums don't deserve these buggies, they make me sick. Cause they're gonna get a whole week shopping in Iceland for like 25 quid. Yo, 25 quid. Yo, 25 quid. These bird's eye baby mums don't deserve these buggies, they make me sick. Cause they're gonna get a whole week shopping in Iceland for like 25 quid. Yo, 25 quid. Yo, 25 quid.
Quick, but I don't wanna rush it, but
1 2 1 2. We're back.
Rise above, generate, rise above, extinguish fear, rise above.
Always nice to hear from Inspector Veg. What a legend. Well, I think that went pretty well, seeing as I just freestyled that video straight off of YouTube.
YouTube.
Off you know who-tube. So let's just look through some of my Schwab shows here. What have we got? I think I need.
Can you hear that laughter coming
I
through the
can
green
hear
room?
that
It's
laughter.
so loud.
Yeah, that'll do. Okay. Let's open the phone lines.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, this is now.
Let's get the number up on the screen here, Michael.
This is now officially also a customer services show. That means you can call in and talk about any topic of the week or the last couple of weeks or what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks, in your opinion.
Magic's, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, Magic's.
Call in, mate. Yeah.
Let us know that you're okay. You always are. It's
yeah, we know you're all right.
Yeah, we just like some explanation, please. So yeah, if you want to call in the show, have a chat with us, get something off your chest. The phone line number is 07983 696691. You can obviously call on WhatsApp if you're not in the UK. That's +44 7983 696 691. Call in the studio. The customer services phone lines.
And you can speak to us here live on Radio Michael.
Customer services is open.
Give it a polish, Michael.
Yeah, it's well grimy. I'd obviously just picked it up with my slimy fingers. So, if I can just change the view.
Thought Criminal says, I'm blocked. What are you blocked on?
If we can see your comments, you're definitely not blocked.
Definitely not blocked, are you?
Okay, so I think just before Veg called up, we were talking about this character. Check this meme out. That is hardcore. Queer Stalin giving some sort of accolade to the Southport killer. So the main psyop with this one as well was there's actually still some people in the UK which are in prison, I believe that's still true, for saying that when this happened, this guy was basically, an Islamic terrorist. So no, that's seriously, stop with the conspiracy theories that the Southport suspect could be a Muslim convert, but the authorities are conceding it. We get it. You hate Muslims and nothing will appease you. And then on the right, it says, what are the difference between a conspiracy theory and the truth? About 6 months, which in many cases we do certainly find to be pretty much true.
Sometimes even less.
Sometimes less,
Sometimes more.
It used to take like a few years.
Well, it has, the Soviet Union stuff that's coming out now about how the far-right anti-vaxxers are actually now being proven pretty much correct about most things.
Pretty much not at least 9 out of 10 things, I would say.
We can't prove the self-assembling nanotechnology, but we can prove there's weird shit growing in people.
Self-assembling nanotechnology.
Self-assembling cubes.
Yeah, self-assembling.
Within the bloodstream.
Michael cubes. Just getting some nice camera views there. Okay, that's better.
Why can't Andy PG fill in for Magic's Q-Trax saying here? Well, Q-Trax, we've got one CDJ here in the studio and two Technics 1210s.
With no needles.
With no needles. So I can't, there's
Magic's was supposed to be bringing like 2 more CDJs and Gritty with him.
We've got a phone call.
We have a
so
caller.
I would, otherwise we've got tunes here, but I can't, there's nothing to play on. Good evening, you're live on Rise Above. Please don't say the C or the V word.
Yeah, good evening, fellas. It's Gary. I've spoken to you a couple of times.
Hello, Gary.
Oh, hi, Gary. How you doing, mate?
Pretty damn good, I reckon. Pretty damn good.
Good to hear it, mate.
Yeah, pretty damn good. As always, enjoying the decline.
Are you enjoying the music tonight?
Top music. Inspector Veg was in fantastic
we're enjoying
form,
it
actually.
here in the studio.
Yeah, great track that, by the way. Really, really top track, that last one.
Yeah, it's decent.
Yeah, what I was going to say...
I'm sorry, did you say the last track was great? I'm sorry, is that the only one?
No, we only played one song.
I know,
tonight.
that's what I mean.
Yeah, the last.
The first and last, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, what I was calling about, actually, I just wanted your opinion on the politics, current political situation in America. A couple of points on it. If you go back to November 2020, when I'll say allegedly, when the election was allegedly stolen.
Yeah.
My take on that was they almost made it too obvious, because they can steal an election without making it that obvious, and that was my sort of my position at the time. Hasn't really changed, so I was always curious about that. But secondly, assuming it was stolen, Why did they allow Trump back in 4 years later? I'm just wondering what your take is on that.
I can answer that immediately for you, Gary. So
Okay.
I would say that it was pretty obvious that the election was
Be
stolen.
careful. Oh no, because Trump's in power now. Is it okay to talk about this?
Yeah, I would imagine so. He talked about it with
Well,
Joe
yeah, 'cause
Rogan.
he's exonerated all of the-
I
right.
would argue that it was deliberately stolen and deliberately visible for everyone to see that it was stolen.
Part of the peasant bait.
Part of the peasant bait, so that what they can do then is Trump is now back in office. He's saving the world from all the trans shit, all of the stuff. He's stopping the war in Gaza, all of that shite. And so he's now going to prove, potentially, that the election was stolen. And then he'll be like, right, all elections will now just be AI. And there'll be no physical peasants voting. To me, it's just another step towards AI governance.
Maybe it's like it's to what the pharmaceutical industry COVID-91 was. It's that to its own sector. So everything has its own collapse event. You know, this shows you that politics is just completely.
I'm not
rigged.
sure, Gary. I'm not sure if you're one of our Peasant Tron subscribers, but we did a video. We mentioned it earlier. We did a video last week. It was released about. It was titled "The Reason for the COVID Union," and we delved into this.
The real reason.
The real
That's what
reason.
we called it.
The real reason, yeah.
And because I think it wasn't about the jabs. It wasn't about a transfer of wealth or anything like that. I think it was about the.
Those are all just things gleaned off it.
Yeah. They were just like bonuses for the COVID Union to get a few deaths under their belt and get a bit of money.
Sort of like the Black Cube administration that were there. They had to go through the rigmarole of overseeing it. Okay, you can have your spoils. Those little things.
But I think it was for the rise of the coming governance of AI.
Well, you're saying the Britneys were an excuse for a bit of slaughter on the side, really.
That's the end game. The end game for me is the AI governance. That's what that is all alluding to. That's the next big move that they can do.
And hence why he's in with Musk and people like and the other,
of course it is.
the tech oligarchs.
Yeah.
I mean, they've what's that new company called? Stargate, is it, or something? They've just launched Stargate, haven't they?
We're going to be talking about that.
Yeah, I mean, I have got. I'm just trying to find the meme. I'm just trying to find the meme that I made. It's good. Right, yeah. What do you know about Project Stargate?
I know very little about it.
We're going to get Project Star of David here in the studio.
It's probably closer to that. I was just thinking, actually, one of the first. I mean, did you have a guy on? I can't remember his name now. A few weeks back. And he was saying it's going to be great now Trump's in and the white hats are going to come to save us.
Daddy Dragon.
Danny Dragon. Yeah, what the hell was all that about?
Well, I did question him about his Q-esqueness.
Well, I was respectful to him, but I said, listen, I'm not
very nice fella, very
very
interesting, interesting, yeah,
very knowledgeable,
very well versed in everything. I'm just trying to find my Project Stargate meme. Here it is. One sec. I'm just trying to get it on the screen.
I think Daddy Dragon. He's very. Was his name? Is it Graham?
Graham Moore.
Is it Graham? Yeah.
Graham.
I think Graham's very knowledgeable on the common law stuff and all of that, like the judiciary system itself, and maybe little tricks and things you can go around it. But I think he has been semi-indoctrinated into some kind of modern day Operation Trust.
Yeah, actually, just you mentioned common law there, and I know you mentioned it. You touched on it in the past, not in great detail, I don't think, but there's something that's come to light recently is, you'd have to really know your stuff, and in my view, you'd probably just get laughed out of court if you stood there and didn't pay your council's tax and said, I stand as a sovereign being, blah, blah, all this kind of stuff they say.
Well, you get your fucking house taken away, that's for sure.
Well, what's been happening with people not paying penalty charge notices and council tax and various other things, 6, 9, 12 months down the line, they've been opening their salary slip and seeing deductions in their salary slip. In other words, the council or whoever have been applying for attachment of earnings and being successful, getting attachment of earnings. So those people who think they've succeeded are actually starting to fail now. So, and that's happened to a couple of people I know, and also I've seen various other accounts online as well.
So let me get this right. These people had jobs, and when they went for their pay packet, the money
Yeah,
had been deducted in huge tax. What, in income tax?
Well, I'm not sure how it's. I'm not sure how it's labelled in the salary slip, but what the council or whoever it is, whether it's a bill provider or the council or whoever, or whether it pertains to council tax penalty charge notice, the council can apply for what's known as an attachment of earnings, and deductions then come from automatically come from the person's salary, and it obviously involves the employer and so on. I think people are having to pay council taxes, unpaid council tax or back council tax over 6 or 12 months, depending on what the attachment of earnings actually is. But it's automatically coming from the salary in some guys, yeah. So
wow.
So there's no escaping this. I mean, ultimately, common law to me is nonsense because the governments around the world ignore the law anyway, as we saw in 2020 and 2021.
Again, Gary, I think what you just said there. Sorry to cut in. I think what you just said there about governments just ignoring the law. I think that's just peasant bait. I think that's deliberately done currently. Like, everyone can see it's going on. Everyone knows about it. Everyone's pissed off about it. But really, what can the people actually do?
Nothing.
But I think the point he's trying to make is that even if you play the game by the law and you knew that, well, the people that are administering the law are criminals anyway.
Yeah, but what
it
I'm
just
saying
doesn't matter. Even if you do know the law and even if that stuff was real, which I'm not even sure it is, the common law stuff. Well, at the end of the day, you're still stood in front of a judge.
Exactly.
Who probably goes to the lodge or whatever. And if the system wants you to lose, then that judge will be taken care of.
I 100% agree. But what I was getting at was that this is another peasant baiting thing. Everyone can see how fucked the court system is in most countries.
An AI judge
would never allow it, mate.
Yeah.
An AI judge would never allow it.
Like they have in China. In China, the prosecution rate
99.7%.
Overall, out of any people that get charged for a crime, 99.7% of them get prosecuted for it.
Incredible when you think. Actually, just going back
and
to...
it's quick, Gary. It's 20 minutes in and out.
Oh, it's in no time, yeah. Very time saving.
There's no days of... What do the juries do?
Well, they can adjourn for several days and they can apply for this and that. Yeah, they can apply for... Just going back to Donald Trump, actually, one of the first things he did, people, you remember we were talking about Graham Moore there.
Yeah.
And of course, Trump is involved in investments in the new cancer, Brittany, and so on. But one of the first things he did was he had a 3-hour meeting with Jill Bates, which, and people like Graham would be expecting him to arrest Jill Bates or to look to implement something like that, which involves the arrest of people like him and Fauci and so on. But he had a 3-hour meeting with Jill Bates about how they're going to proceed with regard to...
Jill Bates, I've only just clocked what you were saying then.
It's Health Chancellor Gates.
I'm not even sure.
I was like, who is this Jill Bates?
Did you not know that he had a meeting?
Yeah, but I didn't. Yeah, I knew about that. But I thought there was some other character called Jill Bates.
No, that's Graham.
I haven't
that's
heard that before.
Gary's own little
I
code
love that.
there.
That's wicked. Health Chancellor Gates.
Well, you're not sure what you can say.
I mean, at the end of the day,
Health Chancellor.
At the end of the day, if the Orange Messiah is actually wanting to help the peasants, then why not go and meet your adversary and have a chat and see exactly where you're at?
I suppose why not? Really keep your enemies close, yeah.
Or, that's best case scenario. Worst case scenario, we're all in on it together and you're going to get fucking schwabbed by an AI injection.
Maybe he went to deliver a message to Bill Gates. It's like, sorry, your time is finished.
Potentially.
Now we're going to use my super Jewish AI sorry,
Michael. That's so many peasant fines.
I thought it was Peasant Tron. I'm sorry, your super cubish AI Britney Spears, because that's what they're suggesting now. It's like
an AI Britney Spears.
Yeah.
Where do you think we are with AI in the UK? Because Starmer seems to have been focusing on.
I don't believe in AI.
I mean, Starmer seems to be more focused on the corporate takeover of farmers, doesn't he, rather than AI?
Well, I think what it is, mate, me and Andy have said this a couple of times before, that I think we're one Olympiad cycle behind America politically.
Yeah.
So maybe we're in the Biden stage where all of the Soros initiatives get pushed and the problem is presented and amplified and really shoved in your face, and then in 4 years' time we might be going through like a Trump period where
and in which case the United States will flip over to a queer Stalin period / Biden period, and they'll have it bad for 4 years. I speculate it's easier to manage that way for the dark occult social engineers if you haven't got the whole world to go into shit all at once. It's good to manage
we go
it in
into
small
that
little pockets.
stage.
It all seems to be Commonwealth countries. None of this shit in Thailand.
No.
I mean,
if we go into that stage, though,
there's the technology takeover in less developed countries, but there's no like
they've got more tech takeover.
But it's down to the local police as well. The local Thai police don't give a fuck, man. In most places, like they just
it's down to that in the countries. Are people there to implement it? Or not.
That's the problem.
Is someone going to implement these
in the UK,
rules?
America, Australia, all the Commonwealth countries, the severely developed countries? You can't do anything unless, like, if they really want to arrest you. There's a Soviet Union.
You can't pay a policeman off for $50.
No, you can't. You can't. Imagine trying to bribe a UK cop.
Yeah,
you imagine
serious trouble.
Like unless it was like 50 million, you'd be.
Well, I've already said this. Even if you were like caught with a suitcase with like say £5 million in it, you would you wouldn't still be able to bribe a lot of policemen with.
No,
because everything's on.
Because
everything's on camera. They've probably got another policeman with them. It's not like New York in the 1970s, but all the cops are on the tape.
We've got a floof coming down from the top here. Actually, there's two. They're both coming.
Well, they all wear body cams anyway, don't they? In the UK now, all the police wear body cams. So.
Move your can because the cat's about to come down on it. All right, sweet. It's empty. Sorry, we've got a cat situation crawling down the wall from above the console here. Yeah, it's interesting because it is happening in different parts of the Commonwealth clan world, different stages of the waves of the swing of the pendulum. Here's the
so
go on.
If we go into a Trump state in a few years' time, do you think that might be led by Farage?
PG
yeah,
thinks
yeah,
that.
yeah, I do. Yeah, I think Farage is deliberately being set up to be the UK's answer to Donald Trump because, let's be honest, after what happened with the Soviet Union in 2020, the Conservatives will not be trusted again. And what's going on now with queer Stalin and his fucking peasant government is not going to be tolerated in another round. What's the third option? It's Farage. He's saying all the things everyone wants to hear. As an Englishman, myself, he's saying everything I want to hear. Like, stop all these fucking boats, stop funding Stop funding Ukraine.
Stop funding Ukraine.
He's
basically saying what's
crime,
Trump's
all
saying.
that. So he's saying exactly the same as Trump. And the funny thing is, Gary, is that he is on exactly the same stance as Trump on Israel.
Yeah, obviously
he is. He absolutely is.
That seems to be at the moment the common denominator with what's going on. We're not anti-Semitic here on the show. We're just pointing out that currently the situation seems to be a acceleration of cuboid influence.
Squeezing from both sides.
Yeah, squeezing from all sides of the cube, all six sides of the cube is coming at you. And they're using, I think what's going on at the moment as well, I heard a great little quote the other day in regards to the boat people that are staying in these hotels.
The boatmen holiday dwellers.
The boatmen holiday dwellers.
Hotel holiday.
Dinghy
Somebody
boys.
said we were on a chat. Somebody said to me, they said, if you go to war, if you flee from war, you take your wife and children with you. If you go to war, you leave your wife and kids at home.
Reverse, isn't it?
And so we still don't know why all these immigrants have been funded and put up here. Sometimes in the case for like 2, maybe 3 years, I think 4 years. I saw somebody did one of these audit videos. They went to a hotel up north. It was 4 years these people have been in there for.
Most of them probably have no idea either. But
No.
one thing they do know is that if one day someone says, instead of £150 a week on your boatman credit card, do you want £500 a week? Here's your new uniform. They're all going to say yes.
And I think
here's your
this
new
is,
uniform. You go and do this.
I think this has all been orchestrated by the Little Hat sect of the Black Cube. Everything's been put in place for a reason. Like, the country's been deliberately degenerated over the last couple of years severely in the UK here. I'm talking about the UK specifically.
Using the clown pivot strategy.
The clown pivot strategy. And then they've placed all of these fighting age males at the taxpayer's expense, and they're here for something. They're not getting jobs. Like, no, most of them can't even speak fucking English and have got no interest in learning.
Here's a point on this, actually. I'll just make a point on that, because firstly, for several years I've heard people saying that, Starmer or whoever's in power is going to set them on, the UN troops and so on. I'm still not convinced about that. I'm like you. I'm not sure why they're here. Or
the reason I'm so sceptical is I could. Someone said to me a few weeks ago when I was talking about it to them, they said, "Oh, it's probably the same as in America. They're getting all loads of people in under one government so that they're going to be loyal and vote for them. So it's all about voting." I said, "No. If that was the case, they'd have their wife and children with them." But the thing that stinks is the fact that they're all military age fighting males.
I think it could be also something like this. The farmer is literally just sprinkling some seeds.
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
Because the population rate in the West of European people is slowly declining.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And there was even an article the other day, and it said, and it didn't say the Great Replacement, but this is in a mainstream newspaper, but it said something with the word replacement and population, and basically admitting that the immigrants coming in, which are predominantly male, are needed to bolster the slowly declining population. Maybe not them, but their offspring and incoming crops, because these people are farmers. They just think about us as crops. So it's like, this crop's wilting a little bit. Let's bring it under control.
I personally don't think it's that. I personally think if we go with the 138-year archaic reset model, I think they're not bothered about repopulation or keeping a population numbers up anywhere. I don't think they're bothered about that. If we are coming to a cataclysmic point in the near future in the West here, I think these people are here personally for what Jason talks about in regards to small pockets of militia all over a country.
Yeah, that's
all it takes. I saw some fucking video earlier of a pro-Palestinian march. I think it was in Birmingham or Bradford or somewhere like that. That's fucking definitely not English. They were calling for Sharia law in the UK. Thousands of them on the streets, absolutely thousands of them. And I was thinking, this is fucking really bad here.
I've seen a lot of videos of
and that when you've got a concentration of, I don't know, say 10, 20, 30,000 people, and then you've got surrounding them hundreds of pockets of militia of like anything from 50 to 250 people. That's a really big problem for the natives of a country. If you've got loads of massive pockets and then just everywhere surrounding it, small pockets of fighting age militias all in the same mindset, I think that's a problem for the UK citizens, considering we're pretty much unarmed.
Yeah.
That's what I think is going on. I don't know
we're unarmed,
but I think that's what's going on.
We're unarmed and dumbed down. Just on the point of immigration as well, I've noticed, because I've lived in the sort of southeast on the outskirts of London since I was 18. When I came to university here, I'm just outside Twickenham, and I'd say up until about the mid 2022, there was always a steady flow of immigration into the area, but the vast majority of people came to work and they had a good command of the English language. I mean, some were kind of a intermediate level, some were quite fluent, but generally a reasonably good command of the English language. But from the middle of 2022 onwards, I've noticed just loads of blokes appearing, just talking Arabic all the time, just can barely speak English, and they literally are. I mean, if you're you're in the centre of town during the day, you just see loads of them. Well, you see them just hanging around in pockets and yelling in Arabic into their mobile phones and this kind of thing. So the type of immigration has massively altered since, I would say, the middle of 2022, certainly into the area I live in. Well, I don't know. I mean, have you seen much of that in Bournemouth at all?
Yeah. The stabbings in Bournemouth have got really bad recently, and it's all people. It's actually all people not from Bournemouth coming down here for the weekend, mostly. But we've had quite big communities of Kurdish people in Bournemouth quite a lot. There's one sort of street which is pretty much all, coffee shops and takeaways, and they've been here for quite a long time. But they've all got established businesses and stuff. But there's definitely it's noticeable because it's just young guys all hanging around together.
Just hanging around in pockets,
actually looking a bit generally maybe a little bit unkept as well. And it's like,
check this out, Gary. Right, we've got there's a place called Lansdowne in Bournemouth, right, and there's a Lansdowne College there. Girls go there. Yeah, girls and boys go there. 16 years old.
So it's an A-level type college.
Directly opposite. Literally walk over a single carriageway road, right, and you're at a boatman hotel. And there's no security on the doors of the college. There's no gates. Anyone can just walk in off the street. Why the fuck would the local government, put an immigrant hotel, predominantly Afghani, Pakistani, and Syrian men?
A load of 25-year-old men, yeah.
You're directly opposite a college where there's no security, no gates. You can go in and out as you please. Like, surely, as a local taxpayer, if you're in Bournemouth, like you'd be really pissed about that. Like, just for a safety issue. Like, it's not racist to be concerned about that, or is it? Like,
I mean, people have got to stop.
Like, this is just it's designed to cause trouble, man. That's just.
Oh, it is. It's blatant. I mean, people have got to stop chucking the racist label around. I think a lot of people have stopped throwing that silly label around now. It's a lot of nonsense.
I think this is another thing that Nigel Farage is gonna bring in, same as Trump has. Like, he's not gonna tiptoe around the racial or gender issues so much. Like Trump does. Like Trump came out and said, I'm sure you're aware, he came out and said pretty much straight away after getting inaugurated that he the federal government will recognise two genders, male and female, from here forth out. And I think Nigel Farage is going to be the same kind of figure here for the UK, and I think everyone's going to love it because he's doing the right thing that everyone wants to see, and then all of a sudden he's going to go U-turn and just be like, right, yeah, we're going to govern this by AI, like, and do all the shit that we all are dreading happening.
I think that gender stuff is actually past its sell-by date a little bit. I remember they were having all these transgender people, and they were flaunting them in front of kids and things like that. That doesn't seem to be happening as much.
The funny thing is, Gary, the exact same thing was going on in 1920s Berlin. You take that.
Oh yeah, I've read about that.
You take that anyway you like it. I won't say too much more about that on YouTube, but
that reminds me. I read. I was looking up some information. You know where Eddie Izzard? He stood for. He stood to be a Labour. He wanted to be a Labour MP, didn't he? Yep. I think he won the Sheffield Award. I was reading about him. I was reading on his Wikipedia page, and every reference to Eddie Izzard, they refer to him as she. It just cracked me up reading it. She this and her this, and I mean, it's
again again. If you
just a bloke who wears
if you look at all the mainstream, I thought a real funny thing Trump did was rename Pride Month Veterans Month.
Oh wow!
In the United States, I thought that was fucking
amazing.
That is good, actually.
If you look, I thought it was great. If you look at all the big corporations and companies like, I don't know, Nike or fucking Adidas, Gucci, or whatever, they all put their pride flag up.
Do you reckon they're going to stop all doing that now, like the car companies?
Yeah, I reckon. No, I don't reckon they are. No, I reckon some of them are, and the majority of them are going to double down on it, and it's going to get even worse. And I think that's going to be even more of a reason for just give it to AI. AI will make the decision.
Yeah, well, it's as you say, Andy. That's the ultimate goal, isn't it? But hopefully it stops. But we'll see.
It won't stop, Gary. It won't stop. It's happening, mate. It's here already.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know. Wishful thinking on my part. Listen, I've been on long enough, so just like to say, fantastic show as usual, guys. Great to talk to you, and I'll clear the line for someone else. So all the very best.
Awesome, man. Great to talk to you, Gary.
No, thanks for calling in, mate. Always a pleasure to chat to you, mate.
All the best. Bye-bye.
All right. Good night, mate. Rise above.
Rise above. Generate. Rise above.
I think
Gary,
King, I do
one
believe,
of our regulars.
Yeah, one of our regulars.
Yeah.
Great caller.
A local.
A veteran caller, some might say. So, yeah, the phone lines are open if you want to call us. I do believe King of Sting from Liberty Silver Designs wanted to give us a call. I just got a message off Baz.
One of our sponsors.
Got a message off Bazman live on the...
we had a phone call from Casey Connolly, didn't we, as well?
We did.
Last week. She had a very...
So I will remind everyone that there is a silver rabbit pendant from Liberty Silver Designs up for grabs this competition week. Actually, it's the next 2 weeks until the next live show. There we go.
Good evening. You're live and Rise Above. Please don't say the C or the V word. We can. You got to turn your.
You need to turn the TV off.
We can hear an echo in the background.
Right.
Yeah, just treat it as a phone call. Is this King of Sting?
Yeah, of course it is. I was going to come on with a great big fucking opening and everything, but you ruined it.
Oh, sorry.
You fucking
unlucky.
Smashed it all out. Yeah, man. Mate. Yeah, it's been fucking booming, mate. Yeah, I've got a lot to say.
Go for it.
Before I do that, I've got to say my hand has been forced here. I wasn't going to ring in. I'm literally sat here. I've had 6 cans, and I'm fucking chatting me on, and my hand's been forced, as you can see.
We can see that, yeah.
Right. So, what do you want me to speak about?
Well, you said you've got a lot to say, King of Sting. So just reel it off, brother.
The floor is yours, mate.
Yeah, but where do you want me to start? Because do you want me to start with this last man? He was just prattling on about Nigel Farage and all of this. Or do you want me to go into the fucking World War II files? Or do you want me to get back into
we'll definitely save the World War II files. No,
we'll swerve that.
Yeah.
Right. We'll swerve that for tonight.
Let's talk about current events,
What do you think about Enki Musk, Elon Musk?
Well, he's just a guy. I think his mum and dad had some sort of like diamond mine or emerald mine or something in South Africa that fucking come from a very rich family.
Average kid, yeah.
Yeah, just your average guy. Just like, I mean, come on, let's face it. Have you ever met anyone in your life called fucking Elon?
It's a very Jewish name, isn't it?
It's high.
It's very Jewish.
It's a hyper rare.
He did. He admitted it himself.
Yeah, I've no doubt. Oh, I don't even fucking know. I've only rung up. Honestly, I've had my fucking arm twisted.
Who's been twisted your arm, mate?
Fucking. A lot of the Ramish community making me. Asking me to fucking ring in.
It's Baz. I know it's Baz. It's Baz.
No, it's everybody.
Yeah,
it's everybody. It's a lot of things. I know, but I need to be asked questions.
Am I right in thinking that you handcrafted the rabbit which we're giving away in the competition? Yeah. You cast that with your own.
Yeah, let's talk. Why don't we talk about Liberty Silver Designs?
Yeah.
Why don't we do it? It's the first time we've got our sponsor, Liberty Silver Designs CEO, on the line. So why don't we talk about that? Me and Lance are both kitted out with our
definitely safer for YouTube.
Ramish pendants here with solid silver peasant chain that we're very happy with. So what have you done so far for Rise Above? I particularly liked the errant one you did, the first one that you sent us.
That first one that I made, I carved it out of wax. with a fucking knife.
Yeah, nice.
You know what I mean? Carved it out of wax.
Lance
and
is
then
just going to get it up here on the camera so everyone can see the errant.
No, this is the rabbit.
Oh, that's the rabbit.
I'm just showing the rabbit.
Michael's
again.
got the rabbit here. Beg your pardon.
See the rabbit. Since I started carving things into wax, and I thought, yeah, I'm doing all right today, but fucking it's hard to work with. I'm going to bore these to death now.
So it starts off with a scalpel and some wax.
Yeah, a scalpel and some wax.
And then you make a cast out of it before you pour the silver in.
Yeah, and then I pour the silver into it, and then that's the easiest bit. Then you've got to fucking like weld the fucking jump ring on, do all the polishing and the finishing of the metal. That's a fair bit of work going on.
So how long would it take you to make something like this rabbit from start to finish?
The rabbit from start to finish would be probably about. You're looking at a good 3 hours all in.
It's right here with its certificate. Remember, we're supporting our local Ramesh craftsmen and artisans, right?
Yeah. Yes, chap.
And what about silver as an investment? Because remember, silver is not just a piece of jewellery. It is a precious metal. It's the number 2 precious metal after gold.
Yeah, well, I would consider that silver has a lot more potential because historically, silver has been the bigger currency than gold ever has. And the ratio of silver to gold has changed so much over the years that gold is looking like a decent investment now, but silver is just so undervalued that it's insane. I mean, you're looking at 25 quid an ounce of scrap silver now, but it's got a ratio of fucking 90 to 1 when the ratio that it comes out of the earth is 8 to 1. So it's such an undervalued material that it's definitely the way to go. You definitely need to be putting some fucking silver down, because when all the banks go fucking tits, which they are doing, and they will do, silver will always be there and it will always be worth money. It's a tangible asset. It's a physical asset that will always be there. You know what I mean? Silver is definitely the way to go. I love a bit of gold myself. I do. But I think that silver is definitely the way to go.
If
you're looking to invest.
Potential?
Yeah, a lot more potential. I think it's got a hell of a lot more potential than gold.
It's quite interesting that you said that, because when I first started, investing a bit in precious metals, one thing that I heard was that the price of silver is so artificially low for various reasons, and one could be market manipulation, and it was something to do with sort of very high-tech money laundering, to do with the big cuboids that operate them, and they were I can't remember the words, but they were sort of bargaining one off against the other, keeping silver artificially low.
They're short in the market, aren't they?
Yeah, to inflate gold and stuff like that. And that was one aspect of why the price is artificially low on silver.
And they're doing that for hundreds of years, man.
Yeah.
They've been doing that for a long time with silver because they know the worth of it, and it's so valuable and it's so needed, especially in modern day technology and that.
Yeah.
Because all of the all your microchips and shit like that, and your fucking lecky cars, all of that, they all demand a lot of silver. Because silver is the best conductor on the planet. Silver, it's a magic metal.
Yeah, and
do you know what I mean? It really is.
A lot of future technologies as well that are just around the corner. I think silver is going to play quite a big part in. I was reading in some articles a little while ago. So yeah, a good investment all round.
Oh yeah, it is. That's why I believe in it. I don't do Liberty Silver Designs to actually make any fucking money. I do it so that people have got a bit of silver in the pocket, so that when it fucking does pipe up massively, then they've got a bit there, haven't they? Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's why I do it. That's the biggest reason I do it. Like that's why they're so chunky and heavy all the time. I don't just want to sell little scraps of metal. I want to sell a decent chunk, so that if somebody believes in it and believes in Liberty Silver Designs, they'll get a big chunk of fucking metal, and in the future it could be worth.
King of Sting. Can I ask you a question?
Yes, man.
Can we go a bit controversial, Michael?
Yeah, just
yes.
Yeah, just use code words, please.
No, there's no code word required.
Okay.
King of Sting, what do you think about Mark Bajetsky?
Yeah, he sells stones. He's well. I'm
asking
New age
because
bullshit.
I'm aware that you had a little bit of
Fucking new age bullshit.
There we go. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is.
Yeah, so he's selling his new age bullshit, isn't he? He's not selling anything of value. He's just sticking fucking 50p's worth of fucking metal that's been made in fucking China or India onto a stone and then charging fucking 60 quid for his shit. That's what I think, anyway.
I saw you had a little bit of a to and fro on Facebook a while ago.
I'm gonna not comment on this because
we love Mark Bajetsky on the show.
We have mutual friends.
I just thought
I'm just hearing this story, which is absolutely fine. This is
I saw it months and months ago, a long time ago on Facebook, and I thought this is the
No,
first.
it was only it was only a tiny back and forth. It was nothing sinister, like, you know what I mean. I just asked him, mate, do you use glue to set those stones? And he just fucking blocked me straight away. That was the only back and forth that I've ever had with him.
Is it fair to assume that using glue to set stones is a cheap way to do it?
Yeah, I just think it's just cheating, isn't it?
What? So it's better to set a stone with what, in a little metal clasp?
Yeah,
If you're going to set a stone, set it in the metal, innit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't just
that was your only gripe. You haven't got a gripe with his stones or anything like that, or
no, I don't know enough about him to have a.
Okay, just so everyone's aware, there's no beef between Liberty Silver Designs.
No, there's no beef. There's no beef.
I
just asked him if yeah. No, I was just trying to fucking display that my jewellery doesn't use glue.
Well, there you heard it here, guys. Rise above. Liberty Silver Designs. It's chunky, solid silver. It is legitimately swabbed by the appropriate authorities.
Yep. Yeah, it's fully swabbed.
Yeah, it's fully swabbed by the code.
Comes with a certificate of authenticity as well.
Yeah, and beautiful certificate.
So scan the QR code, and does this take you to Liberty Silver Designs Facebook page?
Yeah, man, it just takes you to the Facebook page. I've not set up a full website yet.
Got to get a website, mate. Not everyone's got Facebook. Come on.
Yeah, I know. And I will.
But the point is, everything is made to order, so you don't really have anything in the shelf. It's every piece is made to order, right?
Yeah, mostly. Yeah, man. And you can come at me with any design, and I'll give it a go. You know what I mean? I do.
Nice custom design.
I've got like a laser engraver, so I can engrave. So a lot of the times, what I do is someone comes at me with a design. I'll either model it out of do you know what milliput is? Anyway, it's like a self-setting clay, but a two-pack. You know, like 2-pack car paint. It's like that. Yeah. So I'll either make it out of that and then cast it in the silver, and then obviously file it down, polish it, all of that, add the jump ring, send it for all marks. Or if it's a fairly simple design, I can get the laser engraver to do it for me, cut it out of the perspex, and then cast that, and then work on that piece. So that's how I do it.
So you heard it here first. You can even send in your own designs.
Someone's asking for an EU stamp.
Yeah, can you get an EU stamp in your silver? I don't think he'll do that.
I do love Europe though, mate. It's full of good guys.
There's some wicked places in Europe. It's just that.
Europe's beautiful.
Just that semi-Nazi organisation.
Ramesh Claire here, the Glitterati, is saying, "I love my goddess and my Ramek."
Independence. That was something that Baz commissioned.
It was, yes.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Taylor Schwab.
Yeah.
Taylor
Schwab. Big up Baz and big up Claire and big up Polly and big up fucking all of you, man. You know what I mean?
Thank you very much. All the big shout out to all the Ramesh community. Looking forward to all meeting up in March at the Weekender.
Yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait for it.
It's going to be big. Security will be present, guys. Just
we've got we've employed my best security team. All right, King of Sting, it's been great to hear from you, mate. But I think,
booming. Sorry, I've not been entertaining.
No, it's all right.
Very entertaining.
At least I've been here.
It's nice to introduce yourselves to the audience. At the end of the day, you're one of our very few sponsors. It's only you and Dr.
At the end of the day, we're trying to fill time. Like, Magic's didn't turn up. We're supposed to be having some banging tunes, but there's nothing.
And I can suggest some. No, I can't. Right, it's all right. I'll suggest it on Patreon.
All right, cool.
Yes, probably more appropriate.
Wait one sec. The funky trucker is asking, will there be any silver for sale at the hotel in March?
Oh, that's a good question.
There's no room to.
Yeah, man, there will.
Are you bringing some?
Got 20 pieces. 20 pieces.
You're just going to sling it out a jacket. Can you turn up,
like
King of Sting?
In fucking flasher Mac, innit?
Yeah. Let's do that. I'd love to see that.
I was about to say, there's no tables.
I'm going to get one off fucking Timu now, innit?
I would really enjoy to see that.
You're going to come like a Ramesh looky man, yeah?
Yeah, exactly like a Ramesh lucky man.
Yeah, we'd enjoy that, guys.
Got the silver chains for your partner.
Yeah.
I think that's a great note to leave it on, guys. King of Sting from Liberty Silver Designs, one of our great sponsors. Man. It's great to talk to you, mate.
Yeah, I love you, man. I'll catch you soon.
All right, big
See
up.
you soon.
See ya. See you later, man.
See you later.
Rise above, generate, rise above.
Good to hear from one of our sponsors. Let's get the chat back on the screen. Where's the chat gone? Here it is. And also, we can probably get rid of that.
Back to the impromptu Schwab show.
Yeah, so we started talking about Enki Musk a little bit. I'm going to just bring this quote up. I think this is from 2023. So it's what, 14 months old, 15 months old now. Enki Musk, if successful, X will evolve to be the collective consciousness of humanity, or more accurately, the human-machine collective. Obviously, it's pretty. We might have even covered this when he did it, but this is going to be part of my presentation at the event. It's called The Final Solution. I just want everyone to properly.
Your presentation, Michael.
Sorry, our presentation.
Right.
My section is called The Final Solution, and you might call your bit something different. But
somebody's asking here, Kaz, will there be a smoking area at the hotel? I mean, what the fuck do you think we are?
Yes, there's a smoking
area.
patio right next to the event room.
Jesus
Don't worry.
Christ. We've got the whole hotel for the weekend, haven't we? It's a Ramesh hotel for the weekend.
So yeah, take note of this quote. I think in the coming weeks, months, and certainly years, this is going to become ever more relevant. Let's just say
100%,
that. Yeah. What's next on my little Schwab show? This is actually one from Peasant Tron. So the other thing Enki Musk has done recently, which has been talked about by endless NPC peasants, mainstream media news heads, people in the streets, people on social media, all over the place, about the salute, which he allegedly did. I haven't got the video because you've all seen it. He's saying, "I'm sending my heart out to you," and you could say he's doing that, but obviously, everyone's saying, "Oh, Daddy Dragon's calling."
Daddy Dragon. Graham, you are live on Rise Above. Please don't say the C or the V word.
I would never say that on your show.
Excellent. Good to hear from you, my man.
Thanks for calling in, mate.
That's all right. I've got to send a couple of messages from people, and I said you just mentioned my name, so
we did.
I was
did indeed.
I said, "What are they doing mentioning my name?" So I just jumped on and I was watching. But I do watch your show occasionally.
We were we had a caller in, one of our regular callers actually, Gary. He was mentioning he caught a bit of your. I think he caught your presentation on the show you came on with when you were talking about common law and stuff, and we did mention
the Constitution,
and the Constitution, and being an Englishman and stuff rather than British, and we did mention that we were a bit sceptical about the whole Trump Little connection, which we addressed to you directly. So there was no slating. There was no slating going on. Don't worry.
No. Listen, I've got no problem with people having opinions, and one of the things to you as a pair of what I describe as good hosts, right? You listen to people's opinions, but people and your audience must understand This is probably the worst ever, certainly in my living memory, and I'm a little bit older than you two. I've never seen anything propaganda like I have seen today. And I say to people, everything you're being told is a lie, right? And I mean everything. So I understand why people suck in all this stuff, you know, and because you've got two things. I think I might have even mentioned it on your show. If I didn't, I'll mention it again. There was a military analyst. He was a Marine, an American Marine. He was an intelligence analyst for 35 years, right? It's not a mug. It was a small channel. Rumble is a really good place to get good information. And I'm not having a go at you being on YouTube. I'm telling you, you can. Rumble won't take you down. They've got a process which is highly constitutional and means as long as you're not inciting violence, as long as you're not a terrorist, you can stay on there, right? And this guy explained, in layman's terms, from a military analyst point of view, what was going on. And as I was watching it, I said, that's what I've been telling people, right? So I'm not a military analyst, but what he was saying was there are two oligarchs that are attacking each other, and you can term one as both of the twirlies, right, in effect, right, or the twirly mafia, and they're fighting each other. One lot are communists, the other lot are Nazis, right? And Trump's standing in the middle saying I'm an American, right, which is what I do. I'm standing in the middle of two groups because the Nazis were on the left. They're socialists, right? And people have been misinstructed and brainwashed by the communists to believe that the Nazis are far right.
Right,
They're not.
Right. We need to be very careful what we're talking about here on YouTube now, because this is breaching. We're using words like Nazis and far right and being like essentially calling them the good guys. So we just need to be careful of the algorithm here of what is going to be picked up on. So I'll give you my take very quickly, Graham, because I know exactly what you're saying, and to some extent I agree with what you're saying. But I think some people might be missing a trick. If you look at who is behind Trump, look who his daughter Ivanka is married to, Jared Kushner. That guy is way wealthier than the Trump family.
I absolutely agree.
And surprise, surprise, Trump's getting $100 million donations from Israeli dual citizens, American Israeli dual citizens. His wife is married into a very prominent, very powerful Jewish family, and we've just seen like Trump today signed the executive order to make it illegal to protest against Israel. So what you're saying may be correct about there might be two warring factions of the little hats within themselves, but I think it's a much bigger picture than this.
Well, what about if what Graham said is true, but Trump is siding with
one of them,
with one faction that has been pushed to behind recently.
But the problem is that they both lead to the same place: is governance of AI. It's just who's in control of it, in my opinion.
So part of what you're talking about with AI, I agree with. And let me tell you something: there is no one really out there that knows what is really going on, right? So there's a couple of things I'll say to you. So if you say there's two, let's say I am saying there's two groups of these people, right? And on either side, they're both controlled by the twirlies, right? And the twirly mafia. If that is the case, do you agree that there could be another group of twirlies,
100%, 100%,
that are nothing to do with either of the groups? And they say, listen, we just normal everyday businessmen drop us out of this, and they're the ones supporting Trump, right?
Yeah, no, I do think there could be some truth in this.
Yeah.
And it could be why certain things are being brought to light that seem to lean on the more Sabbatean satanic side, and it's actually one group is getting sacrificed One group is getting sacrificed because they've gone a bit too far. And then another group is going to take control. I can be down with that analysis for sure.
Would you say then, Graham, that the whole Q trust the plan phenomenon that we saw erupt in 2020, like it was going on before that, but we saw it really erupt in 2020. Would you say that's could have potentially been hijacked to make everyone feel that, this is nothing, this is just a bunch of conspiracy theorists, when there is actually potentially something going on in the background? Is that what you're alluding to?
But let me tell you something. Not only did I follow that, I was on a number of American channels and my own channel, following that quite implicitly, right? So, in other words, and everyone should understand that the Q, right, is there is no such thing as Q anon, right? So, if you want to talk about legal terms, and I can't really get into it, funny enough, there's something going on next week where we are going to be getting into legal terms in a trial, right? And the media have created Q anon. That is not what it was. It was Q, right, which is a group of military.
That's what I meant, Graham, when I said it's been hijacked to people to essentially discredit it.
Exactly. So again, I could. It's really difficult to try and describe it not with you as host, but describe it on the platform that you're on, because it's very difficult to avoid the algorithms, right? But what I'm trying to say to you is, it's like how can I put it? Where if you was pro, if they describe you as an anti-vaxxer, right, for whatever reason possible, though, that's what. But really and truthfully, what you're saying, so the legal term for what you believe in is, no, I am pro-informed consent. And that means that the legal position is with you. So the media have to change that into saying and create a term, right, which everyone starts to believe that you're an anti-vaxxer when you're not. What you're saying is, I am pro-informed consent, right? And then on the other side of the fence, you had these people who were pro-vaccine, and what they really was pro.
We can't say that V word there, Graham.
I think you said quack-scene.
So, all right. So that's what I'm saying. It's difficult to try and explain it on here, but it's the same thing with QAnon, right? They have taken separate something, and then they've made it into something else, which it's not. And then they've discredited it, right? But not everything that you heard from Q. So Q was different because he was talking to Anons, right? He or the team or whatever, but they were following Socrates' rules. And the Socrates' rules of education are to ask a question and not to give the answer. It is for the researchers or the Anons to go and get the answer. And in effect, what they was doing was saying, don't look here, look here. So they weren't giving you the answer. And then you're going to get lots of different answers. And because these people are then in debate about saying, so the media is trying to distract you. And then these researchers are going away and saying, well, what about this story? What about that story? What about this? What about that? And all of a sudden, people were then looking at things in a completely different way and realising they were being distracted, right, by the media. So when President Trump used to say that they are the enemy, the mainstream media are the enemy, he was telling you, and it was mainly towards, by the way, a certain other group of people, Obama and others, they had legalised propaganda. And that's why you see this massive, like, you've seen the videos where each channel on the news is saying exactly the same thing. It was a script, and it was Q that was telling you they have sent out a script. And then people started looking and saying, they're saying exactly the same thing. And then all of a sudden you see all these people, and they was putting them together very cleverly, and it took a long time to orchestrate it so all of it was exactly the same and everyone could see it. And that's what I'm saying. To fight that, it's a different level of strategy. People have to think strategically. It's no good listening to the media, because it's still in place. And I just think, I feel sorry, especially for younger people, that they never really knew what it was like to be free, right? It's just like living in the Soviet Union. The people in the Soviet Union thought that's what life was about. They didn't realise what we was all doing in the background, and it's the same thing. All they've done is brainwash people, and again breaking that spell. But I believe that not only the biggest thing that I want people to understand from this conversation, and the respect I've got for this channel, because you have honest conversations apart from the algorithms, right? What I'm trying to say to you is what you will see in the very near future, and I do mean this. If you've looked at every one of the presentations by these people that Trump has put in place and the Senate's been questioning them, I do mean every single one of the most dangerous people that the other side don't want put in place have all said something in their statement which is crucial. They have always said we will abide by the law and the Constitution of the United States of America. That is what they're terrified of, because they've been abusing it for so long. And if you abuse and subvert the Constitution, whether it be English or American, right, it's the death penalty. And the difference is in America, they'll carry it out, right? So they're all now terrified because everything's going to come out, the people that are in place, etc. But just to make sure you're aware of this, that's what I keep telling people. When it happens in America and they take back America constitutionally, you're then going to see everyone say, but where did the Constitution come from? And it come from England, not from Britain, not from the British, but from the English. And then everyone's going to be looking.
The thing is, though, Graham, I'm not too sure that the ancient reptilian little hat AI is that concerned about a constitution when it comes down to the nitty and gritty of the task at hand. That's what I'm sceptical about. I think that the constitution's all well and good, apart from when the people in charge want to collapse the constitution and just say, yeah, it's void. I mean, what the people
I don't think that's going to happen.
No, that is possibly what's not going to happen. But what if it is the case? What's the peasants going to do about it?
So this is the problem, and I only say this when I'm doing my constitutional seminars. Right, I switch the camera off, and people say they talk about Trump. So I won't say everything that I say when I switch the camera off, but what I will say is this, right? If everyone out there listening to this needs to know one thing: Trump is not your savior. He is America's savior. He will save that country. He's an American and an American patriot, right? Don't look at him to come and save England. It ain't happening. And don't be looking at Farage, because he is part of this system, right? The people here, if you're looking for a hero and a knight in shining armour, look within yourself. You are the people that will take this country back, not anyone else. And people need to understand that when they do it, one of the things that they can do in America, and I believe there have already been indications that they may do it, is they could help us out, and especially with the European Convention on Human Rights. Don't forget the English Bill of Rights come from an English Convention Parliament, right? It's more important than the European Convention of Human Rights. I believe that some stage in the future, a very near future, and I do believe there's going to be an election before June of this year, right? We will in some way have our Supreme Court in America. We will be in some way associated, even if it's for, and there's law and precedent on this, where there is a sunset period. So they may say, we will do your superior legal cases because we're your big brother and we're a common law jurisdiction, not administrative law. We will do it for a sunset period of 10 years. So it means that you would carry on as your normal life. They would remove all the regulations. They would take away all the communist and Nazi laws. They would take all of the European laws away. And they would say, if you've got a problem with it, the final Supreme Court is in the United States of America. And by the way, we're all trained in the Constitution and we understand the English Constitution because it's what gives us our Constitution. That's the type of thing. But again, what I'm trying to say to people and warn people about is if you're looking at Nigel Farage as being a hero, that man is no hero, right? And I'm telling you now, if you think he's your saviour,
the thing is, Graham, thing is, I'm viewing Nigel Farage. I don't know if you were listening to what we said earlier.
No,
what I said about Nigel Farage. In my opinion, right, if you've been following Rise Above, what's happening now currently in the US from 2020, from 2020 when Biden got in, they were on a 4-year period of shit. Now Trump's got in, they are going to be in a 4-year period of good times, right? He's going to sort out what appears to be what everybody wants, whilst at the same time the UK gets fucked for the next 4 years.
We've got a Biden period now.
We've got a Biden period with queer Stalin in charge, and he's going to degenerate the country as much as Biden did in the US. And then what I believe is going to happen, it's going to be Nigel Farage is going to be the UK's answer to Donald Trump. He's going to be saying all the right things that Trump says, and he's going to be the one to then, quote unquote, save the country, the same as Donald Trump, you said, is the American savior and a patriot. But I think they just lead to the same area. They're just going to bring in the governance of AI, and it's going to have attached to it a social credit score, whether it's dressed up as something different. And I think, I think you, with all due respect, I think you may be a little bit naive into what Donald Trump is really up to behind the scenes and who's funding him and for what reasons.
So again, and I appreciate you saying I'm naive, right? Trust me, I've been through the mill of these people. No, I get that. I get that. I talk to people that are naive, believe me, all the time, and I think, oh my God, right? What I'm trying to say to you is, so let me answer two things. One about AI, because I think it's crucially important, right? And there's a lot of things that people don't know about AI, right? And I come from a technical background, right? I worked for telecommunication. I was one of the people that built the internet that you're actually operating on now. And I do mean that, right? So, and for a tier 1 operator. So what I want to say to you is this. First of all, with Trump, if he isn't the hero, right, for America, we're all in trouble, right? So what I say to them out there is you better be doing something in the background. In America, they've still got the right to keep and bear arms, right? There's a much bigger problem out there than there is here, because they could do what they want to us. They've disarmed us, and by the way, that's always been unlawful. And I could go into the details of that. Let's get back to the AI. So what I'm saying to you is, and let's get back to Farage, right? So, and then we'll get on to the AI, because it's really important that people get this, right? Farage, I don't believe he will be in place. I think it was a mistake that he got elected, right? When I say a mistake, I think it was his narcissistic character that he wanted to be that. I think he has always been the go-between between Trump and I believe he's going to be put in place as an ambassador between technically England and the USA, right? So I don't think he's going to be leading reform. I think he's going to have to be doing it in a different way.
Potentially not. Potentially not. He may not be the leader of reform, but my point was just to clarify that the Conservatives won't be elected, and normal Labour but reform will. Whether it's headed up by Nigel Farage, from what I can see at the moment, it looks like Nigel Farage is being set up to head reform for the next incoming general election when it comes in 2028. That's my personal view. So carry on.
So my personal view is someone else is being lined up for it, and it's Rupert Lowe. And if you see the tweets that Rupert Lowe put out today, with a massive, great big English flag. And by the way, I put a comment on there and said you should go and have a look at David Omnish, because the man was dressed as an English knight and a Templar, right? And regarding himself as English, even though he was a Catholic, right? He was regarded himself as English, and you can see him all dressed up with it. I said that's why they killed him, right? And I said the only English MP we had, they murdered him, right? And Rupert Lowe put out a tweet today, the first time I've seen it, from someone who is a member of Parliament who stuck up an English flag, right, and said, I'm an Englishman, right? So I believe, and Elon Musk has started triggering towards him, other people have, you can see his account moving up and up and up and up, right? I believe Rupert Lowe. Now, I don't fully trust the guy, but that's not the point. But now, so partly I agree with what you're saying, and partly I don't, but only because I can see a bigger picture of what they're doing strategically, right? The other side of it is AI. Now, AI, and again, I've just had an argument with AI. I do like arguing with AI, right? Because it's just a nonsense system, because it's been programmed by biased algorithms, and that's why you've got to be so careful with it.
I personally, Graham, I don't actually believe AI is a artificial intelligence. I think it's just a I don't think AI is
just a clever algorithm.
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
it?
It's just got huge processing power, and it can scour the internet in seconds and come up with an answer for your. I don't think it's actually an artificial intelligence, so to speak.
Well, so I just asked it a question, and it come back with a wrong answer about the Constitution. So I said to it, "Why are you lying?" Right, and then I actually said, "I want you to read these two original." Statutes from England, and I want you to read the long titles, and then I want you to tell me what it means, right? And it come back, and it actually told me the truth, because I basically told it off, right? And it come back, and then it come out with what it should have said. But the point is, it should. If you don't know enough yourself, it shouldn't happen. But just to make sure you understand, there are separate AI systems, not just the ones you're looking at now, ones that have been there for a long time and have been developed for a long time for legal purposes. And we'll get back to Q. Q put something out a long time ago called D5, and everyone said it means avalanche, it means our nuclear deterrent and all that. And I said, no, it doesn't, right? So all of this groupthink of Q said it means this. I said, no, it doesn't. D5 is making reference to the inaugural meeting of Israel, Britain, Estonia, and there was two others. And so it was Digital Nations 5. You can go and Google this, right? And it took you to 2014 and their inaugural meeting where they was talking about AI and digital government and all that. And we was being warned about it, right? And that's why they didn't like Q, because it was telling you need to look for this, right? The point I'm getting at is AI and digital nations and all of that. If it's in the wrong hands, I agree entirely that it is a terrible and really bad thing. I mean, on our website we've got an English digital bill of rights that protects us against it, right? But the point, and again, unless you get people seriously looking at it, and there have been some people looking at it. The point I'm trying to make to you is that AI, if you just look at chat and you look at Grok and all that, but there's other AI databases and other algorithms that have been trained in a different way and for the law. And if they've been trained in the law the wrong way, you'll just get processed. And if the machine says execute, you'll be executed, right? It is dangerous, and I'm not suggesting it isn't, and there are different groups of people trying to control it. one of the guys was on. There was a guy who got nutted off. They said it was a suicide. It definitely wasn't a suicide. And his mum was on Tucker, and she was saying, and it was the guy. He used to work for the person who run ChatGPT and AI, right? And Trump was sharing a platform with the geezer, right? And I was like, what is going on here, right? So it's trying to piece it all together. And again, I could say other things on here about Ukraine, and a certain person being pardoned until, why did they take it back until January 2014? Well, you cannot pardon what he's done, right? No one can, right? So whether it's treason or whether it's crimes against humanity, it cannot be unilaterally pardoned. It can't be done. It's not allowed, even in English law. So the people in charge in the background know that. AI has to be governed constitutionally. And the reason why I know a little bit about this is because Rumble is the same type of platform. It is governed constitutionally. So just to give you an indication of that, of what I'm talking about, if someone was to try and get you a strike, or the British government tried to take down Rumble, and Rumble said, no, we're not having it, right? They moved from Canada to Florida. They got the protection in the American Constitution. And what they put in place for content providers was a system, if someone made a complaint against you, and it was serious enough to get to even thinking about a strike, right? Not taking your channel down, a strike. Before you get to a strike, it goes to a jury of content providers. And they look at it, and if they say no strike, if one of them jurors, no unanimous, right, it has to be completely unanimous, not guilty. And if there's one of them, or guilty, if one of them says, no, I don't think that's right, you don't get a strike. And then after that, even if you did get a strike, that's without taking your channel down, right? So I think you've got to get 5 strikes before you get your channel taken down. After that, there's another appeal process where it goes up to Chris and a team that basically the people that are keeping the channel up and running, and they look at it and they can strike it down as well. And they say, no, there's no strike. So it's constitutionally managed, right? AI needs the same constitutional management. It's so powerful. It's got so in some, and again, I do agree with what's his name, David Icke, right? He says you've got 2 different people, and all they're doing is you've got this one guy that really wants to control it, and he's pretending to be the good guy. I'm not disputing that. I'm not saying Elon Musk is an angel, or even Trump, but I'm saying it's a much bigger picture, and they're treating us all like slaves and useful idiots to say, well, whatever we say goes. And I'm saying, no, it don't, because there's a constitution that protects you. Or should do.
Until they want to dissolve the constitution and say it's void.
Sorry?
Until they want to dissolve the constitution and say it's void.
Yeah, but again, you'll talk. You see, there's a number of things, and again, that's where it gets awkward because you can't do that. I mean, I've seen how slippery they've been.
I think what's going to happen, personally, is that the shit show is going to get even worse all over the world.
I agree.
For most nations that are in charge of things and hold any weight behind them, and they're all going to come up with the same idea. That's a pre-post solution. We'll let our AI govern everything to make sure that there's no corruption and everything. But in under the umbrella of that, all the peasants are going to get enslaved by the social credit system and this fake governance AI that is probably controlled by one sect of the Black Cube organisation with twirly little sideburns that wear a little hat.
But let me build a bridge. What about if Graham's saying that if this was to work, we would need to something different would need to happen, i.e., there would probably be some sort of black swan event, and then the people that wanted to live in a constitutional breakaway part of England would have to group together. Is that what you're saying? Is that possible?
So there is a constitutional way of taking this country back, right? And you must. Regionalisation is part of this. So a lot of people don't realise that the North American Trade Agreement was a replica of the British Union, right? And the FEMA regions, all of this scaremongering about that this is where they're going to put the bodies and concentration camps, they were administrative regions to destroy the states, the independent states of America. The same platform or the same blueprint has been used to destroy England, right? Scotland is already socialist. Wales is already socialist. The only true conservative nation is England, but not as regions. And that's why they're trying to regionalise England, right? So once you understand how it operates and what their overall strategy is, and the reason why I have some trust in Trump is because he gets it. That's why he took down the North American trade agreement, free trade agreement, and that's why, right? He also said, and by the way, we're getting rid of the FEMA regions. He knows what they're doing, right? So if he knows what they're doing now, he's already conveyed that, I'm sure, to people here. It turns out that Dominic Cummings and Elon Musk are having a conversation in the background, right? And evidently that's factual. Neither have denied it, right? So they're having a conversation in the background. Dominic Cummings, his uncle, ruled on one of the biggest constitutional cases in recent times, which was the Metric Martyrs case, right? And he was the one who said there is a structure of our legal system and the constitutional laws. You cannot impliably repeal them. But there's one further than that, which is if a law comes from a convention parliament, you can't do anything with it because it's the law, right? So there's lots of things that I know that the majority of the public don't know because they was never taught it in school. In fact, some people years ago were, but since the early 1970s, when we went into the European Union, they took it out of the curriculum and they took it out of the bar exams, which is why I cause a lot of problems for judges when I talk about the Constitution, because they haven't been trained in it, right? So that doesn't mean what I'm saying to them is wrong. It means it's my job to persuade them, and I persuade them and show them the actual law. The point I'm trying to get at here is there is a way of taking back the country. You're never going to do it. There is no such thing as a British nation. There's a political union that is centralised and controlling us. It is communist in nature, not Nazi, although you've got two oligarchs fighting either side of each other, right? Which is why you get, and even the left are fractured. But the thing is, they move forward with 80% of what's going on. So they don't argue about the 20%, which is what we do, right? We argue on the detail. They agree on the policy and say, well, let's argue about how we're going to do it later, right? That's the difference between them and us. But the most important thing that everyone's got to understand is England is 1,100 years old. The British political union is only 300 years old, and you've only technically been British since 1947 and 1981 when they erased the Scottish, English, Irish, Welsh nationalities, right? And I just feel sorry for them people that don't understand that because it is technically a legal fiction.
Can I ask you a question, Graham?
Go on.
So let's say that England, what you're saying is legit, and England does, in the near future, get, as you said, taken back. England can be taken back, by the Englishmen. That's what you said.
Yeah.
So what happens if the countries around England and that supply England with everything it needs, whether it's energy, food, medical supplies, citizens, doctors on boats that come in, like, what happens if all of those countries don't want to engage, do business, trade in any way because England is its own sovereign country and doesn't want to be governed by AI when all of these other countries surrounding it and all over the world have been swapped into the AI metaverse? What happens then? Because with all the people that are in this country, we can't sustain ourselves for shit. We'll just be starved by ourselves. Laid out on the ground when every other country all around us who supplies us doesn't want to do business with us, who's been put sanctions on us by the dark occult social engineers who control the world and the banking system. Like, what are we going to do then?
Well, so the direct answer is, I mean, you in a lot of ways you've answered your own question. one of the reasons these people took away the trades, and particularly Tony Blair, and took away apprenticeships, and because they didn't want. So if you listen to what, I'll give you an example. Elon Musk fairly recently said, right? All these degrees, right? We need, just because you've got a political degree or some sort of technical degree doesn't make you superior to someone who's got a trade. So them trades and them skill sets still exist in this country. Of course, we can massively survive without. We don't have to comply with AI. We can feed ourselves.
Is all the countries that we rely on to import our food and for energy costs and stuff like that. Like, what if they choose not to? If they're all controlled by the AI, like they're all using it, it's all in their infrastructure, and they're like England's being pushed towards it. They want to engulf the whole world in this system. Call it the beast system if you want. What if England, it does get taken back, like you're saying, and the English is for the English again, and it's all the constitution?
Yeah.
Well, what if the rest of the world says, well, fuck you, we'll just let you fucking starve yourself then, and we'll just take your land over when there's nobody there anymore, and then we'll just make that into our little AI paradise.
So you're assuming that we're gonna you're assuming that England couldn't sustain itself.
Yeah,
England could
100%,
sustain itself.
What with
maybe not in its current state of importing everything and having.
No, I agree with you. And again, that's been put in that, and I've explained that to people in the past, right? Who were the people who brought in supermarkets? When did it happen? After the Second World War. That's why I keep telling people we lost the Second World War.
I agree with what you're saying, but my point is that it's deliberately been done like that, so nobody can fend for themselves. Nobody knows how to farm. So what's going to actually happen?
Yeah, but no, the farmers are still no. That's wrong. The farmers are still there. I mean, I've met two sets of farmers, right? Establishment farmers and farmers like me and you. Them farmers, a lot of these farmers, a bit like the welfare system, have been paid not to grow. Their skill set is there. Their skill set is there, right? The problem we've got is the regulations and all the stuff that's been put in place by the British establishment, which is communist, Marxist, Nazi in nature. If you take England back, we will go back to that structure. And then every county will be managed by its own people, and it will be done on merit, not this DEI nonsense, right? And then what you'll see is that the real professionals that know what they're doing rising to the top, which is the free market economy model, right? The fact, and I get what you're saying, but what you see, I knew England, right? When we was sustaining ourselves, when real farmers were farming, when the distribution of food was to the high streets and
I'm curious, Graham, when this period was, which was respectfully probably before my time, I'm sure the population was an absolute fraction of what it is now.
How long ago are we talking? The 70s and 80s, or like the 40s and 50s?
So I was born in the 60s. I was born in the 60s, right? And then so grew up in the 60s, 70s, right? By the time I got to the 80s, I was having children and doing all sorts of strange things, right? But what I'm saying is, in the 60s and 70s, I mean, when I grew up, we had real cars. Cars were made to last.
Oh, mate, don't even go on at me about cars. It's a sore subject for me, Graham. I've got a Jeep Wrangler which just wants to die. But anyway, carry on.
No, so on the other side, all I'm saying to people is, them skill sets are still there. Our character as English people is still there, but you must go back to distributed governance, and the only way you can do that is full-on English independence. But just to make sure everyone listening to this understands what I'm saying, right? I believe in self-determination for nations. It's the number one human right, right? So in other words, I don't just believe in independence for England. By the way, we're the only people who have never, ever been given the vote to leave the Union, because they know what the answer is going to be, right? So Scotland would, I want Scotland to be independent, and I want a border, and I want Wales to be independent, and I want a border. And if Cornwall wants to be independent, I want them to be. If that's what the people want, let them do it. And we'll have a border. The difference with borders is you respect that it is a nation and a community in its own right. So when you cross that border and you have to show a passport, you know you're going into another jurisdiction. You know it's another different legal jurisdiction. And Scotland always has been, right? Same as England. We're a common law jurisdiction, the best jurisdiction in the world, the best social justice system in the world is the common law, right? There is nothing better than it. And we've proved that time and time again. So all I'm saying to you is you can go back to that. The problem is the younger generation have been brainwashed into believing that it's because of the welfare state. You believe something that is not true, you know? Like, so in the old days, if I didn't have a job, I started work when I was 15, actually younger than that, right? When I was 15, I went onto a building site. You weren't supposed to be on a building site until you was 18. I'd walk on, none of this bullshit you've got now. I said, "This your job, mate." He said, "What do you want to do?" Right? I said, "I'm a labourer, just let me labour." And he went, "All right then, £20 a day," right? And that was it. And you'd be paid cash at the end of the week, right? As long as you could do a proper labouring job, knocking up the muck, doing a bit of whatever. I mean, we was running up and down ladders and sliding back down them and all sorts of. It was none of this nonsense that you get on building sites now, you know, where you've got to go and get a health and safety ticket before you can even go on the site, right? Building sites are dangerous. Working people generally are not fit, right? We understand what the dangers are, but if you regulate and regulate and regulate and regulate, you crush the economy. And that's exactly what's happened. I mean, if you was skint tomorrow, the only real option you've got is this used to make me laugh. Even recently, my dad said to me, "Well, if you're unemployed, just go down the labour exchange." I said, "Dad, the labour exchanges don't exist anymore," right? So what he means by a labour exchange is you go back. So as you're building the economy and the jobs come back, right, you go into a labour exchange. Instead of signing on for money, you'd say, "Any work today?" And they pull a ticket out and say they need someone for a week. They give it to you. You walk in there, right? There was no commissions. It was just what was run for the people. You go to that place and they go, yeah, we need you. Can you load these lorries for a week? And you just load up the lorries for a week until you found something that you wanted to do. But all of this, I mean, you used to walk past factories and they'd have a board outside. None of this, send us a CV, right? Or go online, mate, right? My dad's factory still had, by the time he shut it and sold it up, that was about 20 years ago, right? He still had a little board outside with vacancies, and then he'd write on there what the vacancies were. So if you was a metal spinner or a sheet metal worker, or you was a welder, he just put on there welder and then sheet metal worker, and then people used to walk around the factories, and they'd find a job. That's the way it used to operate. But there's nothing to say that we can't go back to that. Just because it's not electronic and you don't use a mobile phone to connect with an employer and send a stupid CV, which means absolutely nothing, people want to see you and see and understand that you're an intelligent person and they want to employ you and you want to work for them. We'd go back to that.
Need to take it back to basics is what you're saying, basically, Graham.
I agree. However,
no, I can't disagree with any of that, to be honest.
I can't disagree with any of that, but I still think that the governance of AI is coming 133 miles an hour, whichever way you look at it. Voting is not going to get us out of it. And again, Graham, with all due respect about all the Constitution, all your knowledge, I don't think that is going to get us out of this mess, personally. I don't think Trump is the saviour of anyone, especially America. I think completely the opposite. I think I like Donald Trump. I'm a fan of watching and listening to Donald Trump. I think he is
great
great character. But
entertainment.
I personally think he is up to more than what he is. He's putting on a perception that is going to lead us into an AI hole. And I think it's coming to the UK and there's no amount of constitutional rights that are gonna help us from it, unfortunately. And that's my honest opinion, respectfully.
No, listen, I get that completely. My answer to you, which is the answer I give at a recent seminar when someone asked me something silly, something similar, and I won't swear, I said, what the F are you going to do then? What are you going to do about it then? Right? Stop sitting here talking about it.
I personally think that, like you said earlier, and I've mentioned this for the last 4 years on the show, that the UK has been disarmed and we are fucked.
No, we have been massively. Yeah. But again, to everyone listening to this, because I don't want to we have 3 phases of rebellion in this country under English constitutional law, right? And one phase of it has already just happened. There was a second phase, no one's picked up on it. And then there's a third phase, which means you can physically take back this country, right? So, and therefore it's perfectly lawful what we're doing. The major point, and this is what I want to try and say to you, and I mean this with respect, right? You're talking about this AI, you're talking about they're taking over, but you're on a platform where you can't even speak openly because of their algorithms, right? Yep. So for a person like me, I'm sitting there saying, so what are you going to achieve? Right? At least I'm going around talking to people and organising people in different counties and shires, and there are people listening, and then there are other people that turn up to their meetings. Some of the meetings I go on, I leave my phone, right, in my toilet, go and have a meeting because I do not want to be connected with these people in terms of triangulation of mobile phones. You have to think at a different level, right? And what I'm saying is, I don't just talk about the Constitution. I also put solutions in place. So when it kicks, because you need to know who the enemy is. And if you don't know who the enemy is, you're never going to achieve anything. And what I do is go out and I educate people who the enemy are, what they're doing, how they're doing it, how you can take the country back. And if it finally kicks off, which I believe it will. So again, I don't want to bring up anything to do with the north of England, right? In terms of certain, with the kids and what happened with these groups of people. Listen, millions of them people, it's happened to them, to their kids. What did they do? Absolutely nothing. Right? And then when I'm down south, the south are saying to me, we ain't having it, right? And again, I'm not being disrespectful to the North. I'm just trying to say to him, listen, you're the people who keep voting these people in. You're the one who's done that. I've never voted Labour in my life, right? And again, I've never voted Conservative either, funny enough. But what I'm trying to say is I've never put a vote to these people. And then you've got another group of people telling everyone not to vote, which is the worst possible thing you can do. Because what you're doing is allowing the communists and the socialists, because all of their people are voting. So again, there's so much to it. And again,
Graham,
this is why
if all the options for voting all lead to the same place, just a slightly different road? What if it doesn't truly matter who you vote for? What would you say to that?
Well, the answer to that is I always come back with a constitutional argument, which is about to maybe kicking off over here again now, right? The constitutional argument is Ashby versus White 1703. And that was a really, really, it's a constitutional ruling from 1703 where the separation of powers was confirmed, where Queen Anne kicked in and shut down Parliament because she said you've got the audacity to debate the rights of an Englishman. She shut the Parliament down. But more importantly, the judiciary or the law lords at 10 to 2 basically said in their rule, and not basically, they said it, right? When you vote, right, or when you don't vote and you're not allowed to vote, where there's a right, there's a remedy. And what they basically said was, if people don't vote, then their consent, right, to be taxed, you're taking away their consent to be taxed and their consent to be governed because you're governed by consent. So what they're saying is, if you write, I do not consent on a ballot, right, and you put it in, and then ballots come up. I've done videos about it and showed it, right, because at the end of the vote process, and I've stood for election, right, at the end of the returning officer gets all the candidates in front of them, and they show you what they describe as void ballots. Void ballots is something that's on there, right? But you're not voting for any one of the candidates, right? If you write across it, I do not consent. If the I do not consents are higher than all of the elected people, then that causes a constitutional crisis that must go to the High Court. And then you bring up Ashby versus White, and the people say, we're refusing our consent to be governed, and that means you can't tax us. Your court system's now completely void, right? So, until you sort something out. And that court brings in a separation of powers of the monarchy, of Parliament, and of the judiciary. But most importantly, people need to understand, if you don't vote, you are complicit, and what you are saying is, I'm not bothered, do what you like, right? And that's been the cause of the problem. And the people promoting that, right, clearly they are promoting it, they are Marxists, communists, etc., because they know their people are voting. So all they're doing is cancelling you out and keep voting. Well, if you're going to vote, again, it is recorded. And by the way, it has to be recorded by law, even the void ballots. And if you go and look at Hansard, there has been questions raised in Parliament about it because they started going up and up and up and up and up. And the reason I was talking about it was because the more people who write or void their ballot with writing, I do not consent, and especially with the words, I do not consent, you're telling them in an election, I do not consent to this governance, to any of these people, right? That causes a massive constitutional problem. And once other people see it externally, because it has to be reported on, right, that they start to realise they've got a serious problem. I mean, if you look at the London elections, I think it was one of the highest recorded elections where I do not consent was written. I think it was, don't quote me on this, but it was something like 11,000 votes. Because what we was telling people, but again, it's the Marxists and the communists that are shutting it down and saying, no, it's no good. You just don't vote because otherwise you're contracting with these people. That is the biggest load of bollocks I've ever heard in my life, right? That's free man of the land of communists. They have been put in the equation to take out the common law. Because Engels said, right, when he wrote a letter to someone, Engels co-wrote the Communist Manifesto with Karl Marx, and Engels said to a friend of his in a letter that every communist revolution has been shipwrecked on the rock of England. He didn't say Britain, he said England, right? And the reason for that is because of common law jurisdiction and the Constitution. That's it. So America's our big brother, right? If America goes down and they're fucked, we're all fucked, literally, right? But I don't think it will. I absolutely agree, right? We ain't got a problem with AI being fucking dangerous. I mean, dangerous to the extinction of the human race. That's how fucking dangerous it is, and people don't realise it, right? But what I'm trying to say to you is, one way or the other, that technical advancement is going to happen, is how it's controlled. And we've got to make sure in some way that we've got our stamp on that as the people.
I think that's a great note to end it on, mate.
That is, it's great having a back and forth with you tonight, Graham, mate. Let's,
always interesting. Takes a lot to process there.
Yeah.
Some sobering thoughts. Graham, I want to say thank you very much for calling in.
No worries, thank you.
It's good to hear from you again, mate. And let's stay in touch because it's always interesting to bounce off each other.
We need to give a shout out to the Sailor.
Oh yeah, is it Lucy and Juicy? They've gone to Tim the Sailor, the Sovereign Sailor, for his to help his boat out. He's going, and Tim the Sovereign Sailor is going on to New Zealand or something like that.
Is it Maiden Voyage?
Yeah, that's right.
Is that right?
All right, yes. Well, check out that episode where Graham came on with Tim the Sovereign Sailor. But I'll say thank you very much, Graham. Cheers for joining us, mate.
All right, be lucky. Thank you, and thanks to your audience for listening. I hope I didn't bore them too much.
Speak to you soon, brother.
Take care, mate.
No, then. Be lucky.
Generate, rise above, distinguish fear, rise above.
Well, not bad for a freestyle show, I don't think. We are gonna close the phone lines there. I'm just gonna remind you that we'll be back we're back next week. There's Rise Above every week on Friday. But there is obviously a live show every 2 weeks now. We'll be back on February 14th. This is
Valentine's Day.
Episode 145, Ancient Alien AI. And don't worry, it's not Ancient Aliens. It's much more Ancient AI. But there is a competition as well. Where's my picture of the... Here it is. This is the competition. Make sure you sub to Patreon to be in it, to win it, to get this amazing sterling silver rabbit pendant. Here is the QR code. Here is the pendant here.
Scan the Schwab code, guys. LSD Liberty Silver.
But in the
Designs.
meantime, in the next 2 weeks, if you want to get loads more Rise Above, Patreon is the way to do it, because Wednesday and Sunday nights is Patreon nights.
That's where it's at, people.
It's
honestly.
where it's at. It's where it's at. And if you join now, you've got a lot of a backlog to get through. I think there's over 100 posts, probably about 40 or 50 videos.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's good shit as well. It's really good. It's spicy.
It's very, very spicy. All right, cool. We'll see you in 2 weeks live. Back next week live. Not live for riseabove.tv. I'll press the button and stay Ramesh, yeah?
Shalom.
Shalom.
With bars tighter than the strings on a banjo. I'm coming from all types of angles. I walk the type of streets that no other man goes. I'm a spider web type, but you're bound to get tangled. Cause attention like car alarms at midnight. I silhouettes of the shadow in the street light. Rob, steal a shot as long as I eat right. Another hustler, born up in the street fight. Before I could walk, I had to learn how to be wise. Detect lies in your voice, how to read eyes. Tear off the mask and bamboozle the disguise. Distinguish a good from a bad guy. Fat lines, needles and crack pipes. Snakes in the grass, crocodiles and jackpot. Jackknives, police dogs, sirens and flashlights. With a blink of an eye, your life flash by.
Follow me to where they're dead, walk with fighting ghosts inside, bloodstained walls, take the tour, boom, biddy, bye-bye. Through my parables, I give them life. The written spells, they're trapped behind, only old and battle minds begin to write. A little flicker of that candlelight and words begin to form. You know a transmitter shuts down as fear starts to swarm. All you hear is your one heartbeat. 12 ghosts left by the time the first one's ended. You gon' wish you didn't start me. This for those with them hard speech flows. The first shows, first ghosts, run up on them and man stood froze. Snap what you flow, crack that rapping out. That shit's jokes, attack your soul like that jackal scratch. Detached domes, I'm in a catch-22. I don't know who to slew next. To slew the ones who jump on movements, tear apart a few friends. To gun for them who keep spitting when you know that it's lies. Fuck it, two ghosts out, kill them both for one side.
Experts say the poverty line is 60% of average income adjusted for household size. That amounts to £189 a week for a single parent with one child, £217 for a couple with no children, and £332 a week for a couple with 2 children. Income on or below that means the household is said to be living in poverty.
Is it that I'm getting old, or is life getting cold? The prices get high, yet the wages stay low. I see it with my eyes that there's lies being told. When they said that the UK streets were paved with gold. It's life out on road, on our faces it shows. There's youths killing youths for the love of the dough. It goes over our heads just like an afro. In the sun, in the sleet, in the rain or in the snow. It's jail, with no bail, checkmate or is it stale? When it thunders, then it hails. Are we destined to fail? The system, the court, never had a second thought. Trial, retribution, probation report. In a sweat box, you're cuffed, then you're locked. The hard, the core, the journey through your thoughts. Your grimace, it smells, the landings of hell. They call it payback, the youths call it jail.
Got them shivers on my back and it feels like impending doom. If you're an illa cat, you'll feel the presence in the room. Laws of attraction, void of compassion. The street is full of traps, so your outlook is full of gloom. The mechanics of this masochism, techno-fascism, beating drums on my chest to scratch a rhythm. You're created like infants in this massive prison. While your force is suppressed, I'm dropping classic wisdom. Welcome to the world of the flatliners. Vacant face fiends on the streets, they're scrapping over smack prices. This is the world of the no-hopers. Drug-addled crack smokers, kids on the streets that's got no focus. Spreads like locusts in this landscape of pestilence. Nothing they could show us would ever curb the decadence.
Reports of a plane crash in the World Trade Center in New York.
Outside Liverpool Street Station.
11 people have been confirmed dead in an attack on the controversial French satirical magazine Charlie Hebdo. 5 people are in critical condition.
Have been killed in Paris and more than 200 are injured in a series of attacks across the city.
There have been 2 explosions at Brussels airport and the blast at a city centre metro station.
It's double L, you've heard of me, the flow's poison, liquid mercury. Hear my voice when I curse this beat, I let it moisten before surgery. Guilty of charge, repeat offender, for revealing elitist agenda. Still at large, delete the data, success or defeat, or retreat or surrender. And I can't let go, killer artist Charlie Hebdo. That's a false flag, actors in tow, and the blame is slung for the media show. 2 weeks later, Copenhagen, could it be baited these global pagans? These traitors feed off people hating, so nothing's changing. Guilty of charge, repeat offence. My arse is back on the bench, the prosecution speaks my offensive views on my former defence, so hence saw the week from the chat, the covert conflicts, rearranged maps, government funded, hidden bloodbath, there is misinformation, way off the graph. So seek out multiple sources, be beware of malevolent forces, they steer clear minds off courses, hold your aura strong like a fortress, and operate in a lawless state. The internet's like an open gateway, I gain knowledge at raucous rates that I disseminate with flawless pace. Weapons of mass distraction, fired by warring factions, fearful thoughts gain traction, step 1 in a chain reaction. Weapons of mass distraction, fired by warring factions, that's the direct action, breaking down our human attraction.
Not really free your mind, it's free yourself from mind. That's why society is structured to completely engross us in things to occupy our mind. Open your mind.
There's a war going on through our minds, for our attention, for our lives, and it keeps going on because we remain blind. The system is shoveling shit in our eyes. Consume this, watch that, or anything on a big screen that's flat. Distractions come in many formats. Time is one thing you never claw back. Weapons of mass distraction, fired by warring factions. Fearful thoughts gain traction. Step 1 in a chain reaction. Playing GTA, well, you're flushing the focus away. I'm cruising through this breathing illusion. Why do I need your game to play? This is real, are you feeling me? It's all vice in the city, no liberty. Put down the Xbox controller when I bust a verbal soliloquy. Weapons of mass distraction, fired by warring factions. That's the direct action, breaking down our human attraction. There's no need for a power up. I discharge my aura, climb a mountain, cross a border, attack an all in a mind explorer. I want a PSC, a teleporter, to a land with no structural order. No distractions from warring factions, leaving people like lambs in the slaughter. Weapons of mass distraction, fired by warring factions. Fearful thoughts gain traction, step 1 in a chain reaction. See me, I write about issues, you wipe joy pads with tissues. Unconsciously moving along while your awareness is stuck in situ. For your mind it's a major misuse. You're online, settling disputes. In a deathmatch, throwing a smoke grenade, I'm in a sound clash, smoking big suits. Weapons of mass distraction, fired by warring factions. Fearful thoughts gain traction, step 1 in a chain reaction. Weapons of mass distraction, fired by warring factions. That's the direct action, breaking down our human attraction. Weapons of mass distraction, fired by warring factions. Fearful thoughts gain traction, step 1 in a chain reaction. Weapons of mass distraction, fired by warring factions. That's the direct action, breaking down our human attraction. 2009, Godzilla taking over, you best believe this. Believe me, Godzilla taking over, you best believe this. It's a Godzilla takeover, UK rap game makeover. The wait's over, we're here. You've been waiting for a long time, just to hear the first line. Chill, we're taking over, and 09's a year. It's a Godzilla takeover, UK rap game makeover. The wait's over, we're here. You've been waiting for a long time, just to hear the first line. Chill, we're taking over, and 09's a year, we're here.
So what, Alski? Tell these people what's popping off right now.
Yo, GODZILLA. MCs here at CD and they're backing away. We're not here for the weekend, we're coming to stay. It's a Godzilla takeover, move out our space, or I draw for the Leviathan. One of them killer lyrics that we firing, sounding up the siren, tearing through the cortex, flow rate's not tiring, spinning like a vortex, velocity is spiraling, burst through your eardrum. You can't see the sonic boom, but you might hear one. When else spit a clear one, feel the power of the kick drum. With a sick lyric, I rip one. Sniper ton production, yo, it's gonna be a big one. It's gonna be a big day when Godzilla take over. We're piling on the pounds and taking weights off your shoulders. Whether older or younger, you're a name, not a number. We'd like to take a minute just to find out what you're under. It's a Godzilla takeover, UK rap game makeover. The wait's over, we're here. You've been waiting for a long time just to hear the first line. Chill, we're taking over, and 09's a year. It's a Godzilla takeover, UK rap game makeover. The wait's over, we're here. You've been waiting for a long time just to hear the first line. Chill, we're taking over, and 09's a year. We're here.
If people ain't believing, you better tell them, AK.
They need to believe when they're seeing this. Godzilla's in the house, best believe in this. We come to feed up the masses like Jesus did. But there's no fish and bread, we just got lyrics quick. Shit, we got a little way to go though. People are chatting but our names on road though. We're telling you that we don't mean to boast though. That people know that we're the hosts with the most though. Oh, we do our shit craftily. You never see us on the blaze, never blatantly. The paparazzi, they never got nothing on we. Godzilla's too elusive, you can't see it. You see it, and you know where the shit blood. Godzilla is some top lyricist blood. Godzilla is the top against this blood. Godzilla's got your girl having fits blood.
It's a Godzilla takeover, UK rap game makeover. The wait's over, we're here. You've been waiting for a long time just to hear the first line. Chill, we're taking over, and 09's a year. It's a Godzilla takeover, UK rap game makeover. The wait's over, we're here. You've been waiting for a long time just to hear the first line. Chill, we're taking over, and 09's a year. We're here. Ayo, Sniper Man, the people have been patiently waiting. It's time to let them know.
Patience is a virtue, but to sit and wait is just a sin. That's why the Godzilla fam keep moving. Heads held high, but not quite in the clouds. We stand firm, stand tall, just impressing the crowds. Impressing the crowds, I'm pleasing the masses. At the same time, blazing the highest grade glasses. Still, the fam remain focused. Stripping this shit down like a plague of locusts. Intoxicate your mind with some evil dosage. Sniper, AK and double L spit ferocious. The Godzilla family, I'm still on the path of war. Engage battle, I'm ready to perform. You can check us on the internet, upon the CD. The promos for free, cause the Zilla ain't greedy. We speak our minds freely. On road you might see me, shot in the Godzilla fam EP. Every time we roll a track out, blood, we touch us so deeply.
It's a Godzilla takeover, UK rap game makeover. The wait's over, we're here. You've been waiting for a long time just to hear the first line. Chill, we're taking over, and 09's a year. It's a Godzilla takeover, UK rap game makeover. The wait's over, we're here. You've been waiting for a long time just to hear the first line. Chill, we're taking over, and 09's a year.